Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Good evening, folks, and welcome to Alien Addict on a nipple hard-on evening. My God, they are a wreck this evening because I've literally found something that is, it's like, I feel like I found £1,000 note. But without further ado, because I need to get on with this, I'm going to bring the guests on. We have none other than my good buddy, my friend, my pal, Rich Giordano. How you doing, my friend?
Me?
Yeah, how you feeling?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for having me on again. It's been a good day today. Hope everybody's having a great Thursday.
And with a show like this that's talking about, you know, E.T. being God, we need proof. So what better proof than Proof himself?
That's right. What up, Ollie, Rich? How you guys doing?
What's up, man? I thought he was going to say UFO Jesus.
That's what I thought.
Oh my God, why didn't I think of that? We do have Manny joining us very soon, and also maybe Scott Brown. I have invited Osvaldo Franco as well.
I saw Osvaldo in a couple of chat rooms this week going nuts. You guys have no idea what you're talking about. There's stuff coming down.
He'll lose his shit, dude.
I know, he's great. He's a nice guy.
He'll go crazy.
In a good way.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Go on.
I'm sorry. I just had to throw this out real quick. I'm finally talking to Osvaldo. He hit me up, and you guys got to understand something. Like a year or 2 years ago or something, Osvaldo used to come on my show all the time. He would always come in the comment section, always come and say what's up. And then there was some stuff going on with TTSA, and he was like highly invested in them. And I had made a joke. I just made a joke that, you know, saying that, oh, well, this big announcement is coming out. I'm like, you know what? How much you want to bet it's going to be some stupid TV show? You know, just making a joke. I had no idea that this was actually happening. And I just made a joke about it, saying, you know, I'm like, if this big announcement comes out and it's just a TV show, I'm gonna make fun of you so fucking bad, Osvaldo. And he's like, it's not. I swear to God, blah blah blah. It's just some big news. It's some big news. And then they made their announcement. It was a fucking TV show, and I hadn't seen from him since. Dude, like, he just stopped coming on the show, dude. Like, until I just finally started talking to him again, and I just like felt back. So I'm like, is that why? You know, because I made that joke that he just didn't come back, and I was like, man, don't worry about that. Come back. It's okay. Like, I don't know though. But it's good to talk to him again, and, you know, hopefully get him back on.
Well, he's not just invested in the actual subjects; he's actually invested. You know,
totally.
Like,
good, right?
He was like invested, like he was like in the stock and shit with him, you know. So that was that's why I think he got so upset.
Yeah,
I can't. You know, you've got to protect and stick up for your investments.
That's right.
100%.
Absolutely.
You know, I love Oz. I love him to pieces.
Yeah.
Do I agree with everything he says? No. But people don't agree with everything you say, Kyle, or that I say, or that Rich says.
Exactly.
It doesn't really matter, you know.
Right.
You know.
But he is invested.
Heavily.
Truly.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it. If I put some moolah TTSAs. Sometimes I wish I had done. Sometimes I wish it, but I think my wife would have chopped my penis off.
I just don't see a good return coming from it.
It's a high risk.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like I don't see much money coming back from investing into them. You know, I'd invest to them simply because to give the money away, as in to support them, more or less thinking, oh, I'm going to make a return on my investment. I don't see that happening, but.
If they would have built that transmedium craft, who knows?
Yeah, then I guess maybe you're going to make a lot, but
it's a shame.
Thank you, Lee. Welcome to the show, mate. I appreciate the super sticker as always, my friend. Do I sound like I'm really far away from the mic because I'm trying to get something done?
Yeah.
I'm in the room now. I'm in the room. I'm literally just about to hit upload to this StreamYard, so I'm back. I'm in the game.
Yeah.
In the game, people. Literally, I've just been doing some shit before the show, and you know, I said that I found a little discovery, Rich,
Yeah.
and you guys are probably gonna shit all over it, so it's absolutely fine. I'm ready for
Good.
the shit.
Okay.
I am ready for the shit. But I found something else.
No.
What I'm trying to disprove this shit. And yeah, I'm not gonna mumble any longer. I'm gonna get on with it. But Manny's gonna come in a second.
Manny's here?
Manny's coming. Yeah. I told you my nipples had hard-ons.
It's hard to tell with black.
Well, yeah, this is true.
Yeah, you just look like a head and some arms
Yeah,
floating around up there.
Me,
it does.
how in God's name are we doing today? I'm mate. You've got no idea how I'm doing. I'm doing amazing, and you'll see why. But thank you, Mr. Catfish. Manny in the house. How you doing, mate?
Hi guys, how is everyone? I'm working on getting my camera set up. It'll be on in just 1 second. But
can
let me
you
catch
see
up. I'm
this-
running late.
But you can see the screen.
Yeah, I can see you guys.
Beautiful, beautiful. Manny, have we all seen ET? By the way, has everybody seen that little fucker?
Of course.
Fantastic. Because Lee, who can't be here tonight, once told me a story. He said, "Do you think ET's Jesus?" I never thought of it that way. And tonight I kind of thought I didn't have a clue what to talk about. And to be honest, the show never has structure. I just needed a classy little thumbnail. And I thought, yeah, ET, Jesus, let's go with that. So I went into the whole ET thing. But as I was looking at this painting of the creation of Adam by is it Michelangelo?
Yeah.
Michelangelo,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
Michelangelo. Of course.
Oh, and by the way, are we all in agreement here that Steven Spielberg, he depicted E.T. as Jesus?
I do.
I think he did.
That scene.
No, that's Photoshop.
What's Photoshop?
Yeah, I mean, it's not Steven Spielberg didn't do that.
Not this picture, but E.T. in the bottom right, he did.
You think
when-
he did it like that, like Jesus?
He did it in that's real. That's from the movie.
No.
I swear on my life. You remember
What?
when
I
E.T.
don't
died?
remember that.
When E.T. died, they stole him and put him in the back of the van. And he was going, E.T. phone home, E.T. phone home, and they took him out.
Yeah.
And when the van wiped out in the park, the doors opened and all the smoke came out and everything, and he stood out looking the way you see him there and
No
depicting
way.
Jesus on my right hand of God.
What?
Yeah.
I don't remember that at all, man. It's been a long time since I've seen that movie. So
It's
maybe
amazing.
he did. Oh my God.
That's when they met him at the park and they got him on the bicycle and put him in the basket.
And he had like a white robe on and shit.
Well, it's not a robe. It's a cloth that was over the thing, the box that he was in.
Oh, okay.
So it got cold in there, so they put it around him. Totally unbelievable, right?
That's crazy.
Yeah, and the music and everything was exactly like Jesus being reborn, because
And
that's what happened.
The smoke looks like wings behind him or something, you know?
Well, maybe the picture's throwing it off, yeah. It's just dry ice, yeah.
What about the heart?
Yeah, because remember when he died, everything died. When he came back to life, he got the strong signal back in his heart. So that's why it's lit up. It's just, the way it is. His heart lit up
That's
like
funny.
that. When the ship is close, it's his calling card.
And Jesus is rocking the T-shirt with the heart on as well.
Yep, they're looking pretty similar.
It was intentional by Spielberg.
And he's
'Cause-
holding his finger up like E.T.
Yeah, E.T. phone home. What
That's
E.T.
funny.
actually said, E.T. home phone was the first thing he said.
Yes, Mandela. And Kyle loves Mandela.
No.
Oh
yeah,
I love
yeah.
the Mandela effect. Oh yeah, it's my favorite.
So what I did find while I was looking at this picture in Photoshop is, and it's probably just like a bit of old chewing gum from Michelangelo, you know, that ancient gum that they used. I found a Tic Tac.
Shut up.
That what?
Wow.
No way.
It's on every single picture.
No way.
Dude.
Is that not just
No.
a drop of water or something, or like a flaw in the painting? I mean,
Yeah, of course. But is it?
If you Google it, it's on every single image.
No,
there.
it's not.
It could be just a crack in.
I think it is.
An indentation where they've put, but that isn't that painted on a massive ceiling.
Yes. The Sistine
so-
Chapel.
So it could be just a bit of filler. You
That
know?
is a Tic Tac UFO. Give filler my ass. Look at that thing.
you'd have
Yeah.
to go back through the historic photos and see if you can find when that showed up, or if it's been there the whole time or not.
I'd bet it's been there the whole time. I think it might be a flaw in the structure, maybe how it cracked.
Yeah, like the cracks. You see other cracks on the side.
But
and
it
stuff,
is
but-
very cool.
Yeah, and so, but then I kind of looked to debunk myself during the show, and I found the creation of Eve.
Shut up.
Look at that shit, dude.
Shut up, dude.
There's a lot of pictures with this on.
That's it. I'm
There's
sold.
so
I now believe again.
Look at that. There's a little Tic Tacs in those drawings. You see that? That's exactly right, dude.
This is unbelievable what you found. Even if it doesn't make sense, you know, maybe it's whatever, something cracking, whatever. Now you found it 2 places? Holy shnikey. We got to look around.
And the fact that it's up in the background and not low on the horizon or on one of the bushes or something, in both of those pictures, it actually looks like something's flying in the background. So that's kind of interesting.
If you look around, you don't
And you
see that
notice
anywhere.
There, you see that through all kinds of different art of, and you know, like, you know, 14th, 15th century art. You'll see little UFOs in the background of paintings all the time.
Yep.
Like Madonna on the Rocks and the Annunciation, and I mean, there's a ton of different paintings where you see like a little UFO in the background. You see, there's some of them where you see people actually staring up, pointing at the UFO in the background. Like, it's crazy.
And beams shooting down.
Yeah, like the Annunciation has the one with the beam shooting down into the head of the person. You know,
It's so unbelievable.
I don't think anybody's pointed this one out.
no, that's a new one. I've never seen that one before.
They may have pointed the creation of Eve one out because that is so obvious that is.
I've never seen that one before either.
Yeah, me neither.
But that I honestly did think, you know, it's probably just a bit of filler. That they had a hole in the ceiling, they put a little bit of filler in,
I
and
got
that's
it.
it.
Yeah, why don't they fill in all the cracks while they're at it? I mean, yeah, I'm not buying it. That's a Tic Tac.
That's a Tic Tac.
Tic Tac right there, too.
Yep.
That's it. I'm sold.
Or a saucer.
fucking-
Could
not
just
the
be a
alcohol,
saucer.
yeah.
Saucer. Yeah, saucer, yeah.
So yeah, I thought that was interesting when it came to.
It's amazing.
That is why they was just so big. My nipples.
No, now my nipples are hard, dude. I'm
Me
over here
too.
fucking leaking now, dude.
Because Rich, you've been saying for ages that it's yours. It's the Americans. You guys have the Tic Tac.
I did.
Jesus had the Tic Tac now.
Jesus. Well, he was American, I guess.
You know?
That's
He had the
crazy.
Tic Tac.
So what does that mean if that's a real thing and they've been around that long? Are they the original inhabitants of our Earth, or did they come somewhere else and start living here and created us in their image? It's very strange. Now we're going to get into Bible.
It makes sense to me.
It kind of does. It's
I mean,
weird.
I've never been that into the whole ancient aliens thing. I mean, there's definitely, when you look at things like this, pyramids all over the planet, you know, and people couldn't travel that they couldn't get over the oceans, but yet they all had the same idea of a structure. And I had this argument with my dad, and my dad said, well, maybe it was the most simple structure to do back then. I said, I don't think it was.
Seems like the hardest one.
You know, very difficult one to do.
Perfect. Yeah. Yeah. What a panel we have here tonight. This is
Yeah,
amazing. I'm just looking around. I can't believe it.
Why put that in a painting?
It's crazy.
Why they say that these artists, did things like that. They put little Easter eggs in.
Was he
Of
kind
course
of
they did.
but was he a prophet kind of guy, or
Who?
Michelangelo?
No.
I'm thinking of Leonardo da Vinci.
Yeah, I don't think any of them were really prophets. They got paid by the church to do a lot of artwork, but I don't think any of them were really highly religious people.
But wasn't da Vinci? He drew like helicopters and stuff, things like that.
Dude.
Didn't he?
Da Vinci was an engineer. From obviously 500 years ago, but he was an engineer. Like, that was like his main thing was engineering all kinds of different helicopters or tanks or parachutes, airplanes and all kinds of stuff.
Supposedly, he's like the greatest inventor of all time.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. I mean, he's clearly a polymath, like 100%. So in everything that he did, he was, like an expert. So, and he had many different disciplines.
But was Michelangelo around the same time?
Yeah. In fact, he was kind of jealous, of like Michelangelo's rise to fame, because Michelangelo, they were they were contemporary with each other,
Okay. It's wild. Now we're gonna have to look in other paintings and things like that and see if we can find other discs or Tic Tacs.
Well,
That's what I was saying. That there's never been a better time to go out and start cataloging those and getting them together and looking at them and going through the historic photographs too, like I said, to see if you can tell when they popped up or if they've been there the whole time. That's going to be an important research subject on this part.
The strange thing with this one is in some of the images on Google, the object is there. In some of the other ones, it doesn't look like it's there, like it's been wiped. It's been wiped clean. But the different quality, the pictures are different quality as well. Like from a distance, the resolution from a photograph. But there's another copy I've just seen that doesn't have it. But I think I'm looking at a replica that hasn't put the thing there. But most of them, they all have that little UFO on them, and every single one of them has that little blob there.
I know Ancient Aliens did an episode doing what we're talking about now and showed a bunch of those, what Kyle said, those depicted in paintings and stuff like that. But this is a brand new one. I've never seen.
Yeah, I've never seen
this one.
So what are we missing elsewhere,
We get Kyle's S4, and then yeah.
That started the year off with a bang.
I know, right, dude? That was great.
That was unreal. 2 weeks of unbelievableness.
Hey, you know what? And it's funny because I had mapped out from Area 51 to the S4 and took the actual road that goes for it, and on Google Maps and followed the length, and it turned out to be 12.2 miles. And if you're on a bus traveling, at 50 miles an hour, it's going to take you about 15 minutes to get there, which is exactly what Bob Lazar said is how long it took to get there. Like from his very first videos, they asked him how long. He's like, it's about 15 minutes away. It's like exactly 15 minutes away. Like everything he said, like turned out to be accurate about that base and its location and everything. I mean, like, that's it, dude.
Has anybody challenged third phase on that was it $5,000? 10,000.
Yeah, everybody was saying it's super easy to do and put the pin there.
No person did it.
Nobody did it. Not yet, even 3 months later.
Yeah, and they were saying they were going to be able to do it in a couple days. Everyone was like, "Oh, we'll do it in a couple days." Ain't no one's done anything. It's impossible. It had a government tag on it, dude. The same tag they have on the White House and on the Supreme Court was on S4, dude. And there's a video clip that I had got from George Knapp, one of his podcasts, where he's talking about when he first called the base, or when he called Nellis Air Force asking about it. This is before the story broke. He asked about, is there a base called S4? And they're like, yes. In fact, there's 2 bases called S4. And that place that I found has S4 government research facility, and then the next one is S-4 High Ridge Research Facility. There are in fact 2 bases. He was absolutely right, and that place has the 2 bases. So I'm like, there's just more than enough evidence to tell you that is S4. That is the place.
Was that down right by Groom Lake? Was it on the edge of the lake there by that ridge line? Is that where that was found?
Yeah,
the first
like
one?
Cockeyed Ridge, in between the test site and Area 51.
Mm-hmm. I think T.D. Barnes had said that back in the 60s that was a radar location. So it was a shack with a radar piece, and it was called S4, Site 4. It was one of different locations they had. But it sounds like it was mainly abandoned back then. So maybe they did something afterwards with that location once it was no longer a radar test facility or something.
Oh, I'm sure they put it to use somehow. Like, obviously, that's where Bob Lazar worked. They must have been. What a perfect place to reverse engineer UFOs, dude. You know, you're surrounded by mountains on all sides. You're totally in a restricted fly zone. I mean, you know, and in case something goes wrong, you're at the nuclear test site. So if in case something happens, there's, you know, this is what we do. We drop bombs here all the time. So, you know, what a perfect place to do it.
Okay. When it comes to the creation of Eve, I think there is some funny business going on.
No, don't tell them someone faked it.
I think so. I'm finding images with a lot of images without it, and I'm finding some images with it.
Yeah, they faked it. Now it's fake.
It
But
could
no,
be faked,
or
or it could have been something that, like we said, was added later, like a repair or a smudge or something, and so it would show in later photographs, but not earlier ones. But
Maybe.
it's good to look at.
But the images with it in and not titled like UFO in creation of Eve painting or anything like that. It's just a picture of the painting. That's all it is. But some of them
Can it just be the angle, the lighting?
Okay.
It's a circle pretty much. I don't know.
It looks oblong. I mean, it does look like a saucer or a Tic Tac, you know, to me. And not like a like a blob, like a piece of gum or something.
I'm gonna try and save a couple of these and put them up on the screen because it's
It would be nice to have a bunch of different photos with the dates that they were taken, so you can see it, you know, and figure it out. But that's weeks of research to do, man.
Yeah, big time.
Yep.
yeah.
So we were talking about S4 earlier and about, you know, like UFOs and backwards engineering technology being developed out there, but I think in the past they really haven't developed a lot of that technology out of S4, out of Area 51. Like the SR-71 technology was actually developed in Boeing and Lockheed Lab, Skunk Works, things like that, but then it was tested out at Area 51 once it was in production mode and things like that. So that's always why I wonder about this Area 51. Like, I don't think the government's really got as much information as Battelle Labs and Skunk Works and the Anthill have on all this stuff, you know, over the years.
I would be interested to find out your take on Bob Lazar while Kyle's in the room, because I definitely want to get you two talking about the Lou thing, because Kyle is one. He was going to come on that show that we was on the other night. I've invited Osvaldo Franco in, but I definitely want to hear your take on Lazar as well, Manny, when Kyle's back in the room.
I often characterize my relationship with Bob Lazar as like a high school romance. We're on again, off again, on again, off again, on again, off again. Like I believe him, I don't believe him. You know, I've gone back and forth over the years so many times. But yeah, I think I've finally come to rest on that one.
Rich has just made a discovery.
I have got to show you this. I'm going to send it to the private messages in here.
Is it not something we can share on screen?
I could share it, yeah.
Oh,
you want me to
okay.
do that? But you could do it easier. Just take a look first. I'm going on a different topic here. This has to do with what Anjali just posted. And the cousin's brother sent this to me last night, said, did you see this shit? So I want you to look at it and see if it's worthy of a post, because she swears this is real. You're going to die.
I just want you to bring it up on screen so it's natural.
Oh, I could bring it up.
Yeah, because then it's natural.
I don't know what you mean by that, but
I want my real reaction.
Oh, I gotcha. All right, let me share it with you then. I'll make sure there's no echo. Go. And it's up to you, Chief.
Here we go. So this is what Anjali's just shared on her post.
She says, stop what you are doing and look at the pics taken today by my friend's wife at work. These appear authentic. No Photoshop. Similar images.
Oh, that looks fake as hell. What is that?
It's a big craft in the sky, she said, her friend.
Not that's fake as hell. Who said that?
Anjali. That her friend's wife took these. And these are authentic.
I think it's
that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
That looks fake as hell.
Because it really is.
Yeah, someone's winding her up there. I could Photoshop that better.
Is that amazing? Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. Anyway, I just thought that was a good laugh.
Oh dear.
And this is the chick who said that there was an alien base in the Mojave Desert.
Under a tunnel, yeah, in a cave. In a cave under, yeah. Yeah, that guy's going to be on that Frank guy that she said was giving her access is coming forward on Truthseekers in 2 days. And he said she's absolutely bonkers crazy.
Frank guy?
Yeah, you know, Frank and Trish, the people she met, the guy who owns the land that has the cave on it.
I thought it was called Wayne.
Wayne, Frank, whatever. Wayne, I can't remember everybody.
Dude, that is clearly a fake picture. My God.
It's Wayne. Anyway, that's it. Anyway, that's her post. Stop what you are doing, she says.
Oh, my God.
From a Samsung Galaxy Note. Yeah, that's what you want to do. There's
do you not think she's... Oh, cheers, Mr. DB Cooper. I appreciate that.
Wow.
Hey, what up, buddy?
Thanks, DB. Giddy up.
Well, I can't believe she posted that saying that's that this girl is just full of all kinds of crap, dude.
She's reaching now.
You know, that's clearly fake.
Oh my God!
What's the intent there, though? It's like, oh, guys, I'm here. Like, why would she even do that? Why go there? I don't get it.
I'll tell you why. Because
I found it. I've done it, dude. I found it in Photoshop. You guys got to see this. This is it.
That's it. That's all we needed. Okay.
That's it.
All right.
I got it.
It's because she got her ass handed to her last week. She's trying to make, divert attention.
Like what who is this chick, dude? I swear to God, man. Like, she just come out of nowhere and just, spewing a bunch of nonsense, I mean,
she's been doing it since she was 6 years old.
You don't believe her, Kyle?
I don't even listen to her, man. I've never even heard a single thing from her except when I talked about my encounter and how I wanted to take people to an alien base. And then next thing I know, I heard this bitch saying the same fucking thing, dude, saying the exact same thing, except I didn't know about any of this other crap. Now I'm just like, this bitch is fucking crazy, dude. Wow.
Well, I don't think she copied what you said.
No, I just think it was similar,
It's very.
But it was weird that we didn't even know about this alien base. Even she thought it was weird. She messaged me. She saw the interview with you.
Yeah.
And said, "Oh my God, why have you not told me about this sooner?"
Well, because he's not crazy. That's why. Go around sharing Photoshop fucking pictures saying that it's this is legitimate. It's legitimate my ass. Are you gonna make that claim that's legitimate, dude? A 4-year-old can tell you that that's fake. That's the problem with ufology, is you got people who are just so adamant and say, oh, you're just so quick to jump on anything and say, this is it, that's it, it's clearly a fake picture. And if she can't even take the time to admit to recognize that, listen, you got to put some kind of research into, when you're going to make some claims, you got to put something in, behind it saying, oh, okay, I did this to prove that, or, where they came from. And, there's no provenance with it. There's nothing with it. It's just, oh, I got it from a phone and here you go. Like, this is it. Like, clearly it's a fake picture. It's not even a good one.
We all see better than that every day in ufology. Like there's channels like Third Phase of Moon that post stuff up every day that's got, different things from different people. And, if somebody if I would have put that picture online and said that this was proof of UFOs, people would have laughed me off the internet and heckled me off of the internet. Come on, there's no responsibility there. And this kind of crosses too into this new footage that Lou is supposedly showing around of this new sphere or cube UFO that he's got, that he's drip feeding to people, I guess, and
I haven't heard about that. Where is this footage at?
I can link it for you if you want.
Yeah, throw that link up. I want to see that, dude.
Wait a second. Lou has footage of a cube?
So this all came out in Josh and Artemis's story yesterday. And this was part of the problem. I'm not going to paraphrase for them. I think they're here. They can come up. But from my understanding, Lou was showing certain people, like YouTube talk show hosts and stuff, clips of this allegedly new UFO footage that he has. And I had talked about it yesterday, and I said, I don't think this is the 22-minute Tic Tac footage, and sure enough, it's not. It's some video that a guy shot over, I think, Michigan in October that's a cube UFO. And Rich, you'll remember the cube UFO that we saw, the pilot filmed a couple years back, February of 2020, I think. Remember that one that the pilot filmed over, I think it was Venezuela or something like that. But there's other footage that's real similar to that.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm referencing it to. But I'm gonna go find that. Let me click off real quick, and I'll find that, and I'll share the screen so we can look at it. And I did ask the person who owns this footage. They said I have permission to use it and to analyze it and stuff. They wanna figure out what it is. So we're right there. Hi, Michael. I'll be
Good
right
evening,
back.
gentlemen.
Who's this guy?
Hey, what's going on, Ollie, Rich?
Welcome,
Area
Michael, mate.
503. I'm so sorry. I don't think I know your name, although I recognize your face, mate.
UFO proof.
Hey,
Oh,
UFO proof. Nice to see you, brother. That's where I know you from.
I was going to call you UFO Jesus.
Oh.
You wouldn't have been the first. You wouldn't have been the first, man. Believe me. Guys, it
Kyle,
sounds like you're in the middle of a... Sorry, go ahead.
We are. Kyle, did you think that was Jesus?
For a minute, I was confused. I was like, maybe it's UFO Jesus. He heard us talking about him and he came on.
See,
Post-disclosure came
what
on.
we have to talk about here, guys, at length, okay? We need to think about all the aspects together. Okay?
Don't forget the claw.
That's it. That's all I've got, really.
We have gone this far.
This far.
And you got to have a cockroach on your microphone.
Yeah. You remember that now you bring it up.
Unbelievable.
Thank you, Lee Guy, for bringing the bacon, as always, my friend.
Oh, yeah. 5 pounds.
Third phase are in the chat. Third phase, I may have made the discovery of the Kyle was the discovery of the year. I've just found somebody's chewing gum on the cysteine. This is what you missed, Michael. By the way, when I was making the thumbnail with ET. Oh, by the way, quick one. You have seen ET?
Yes.
Good. Thank God for that.
Thank God. Yeah.
I found what appears to look like a Tic Tac. I was trying to disprove myself of it not being a Tic Tac, and as I was doing that, I found another one, but not in the creation of Adam, but in the creation of Eve.
Mm-hmm. Well, the curious thing here is that at first somebody could say, well, maybe this is the texture of the paint. You know, a lot of oil paintings back then were multi-layered insofar as they were using extra canvases that they may have used for another purpose and repainting over there. We've been studying that historically for quite some time. But the fact that you're finding it in more than one painting here, or more than one portrayal, is very curious. It's not, to me, looking like just a blob. Of course, not having the original in front of us, we can't say definitively, although if you did, you probably could. You could say this isn't something anomalous in way of the paint and the way it dries or how they've layered it. This is obviously very intentional. It does look like a very proportionate tic-tac type shape here. Certainly there's geometry to that, albeit minuscule in way of the overall presentation, but yeah, this is certainly a subject I've been fascinated with for quite some time, like most of you, looking at some of these early portrayals of religious figures, which, you know, we can all certainly agree in most senses that these are not accurate events that were, you know, being captured the way we take a photograph or a painting of today. These were portrayals of ideas, notions, and of course beliefs. And yet there you have it right in the background, guys. It looks like a UFO.
Now, you want to know what I find interesting? If you can go back to this picture right here, I find very interesting the placement of the question mark. I find very interesting.
I was in the show family friendly.
I forgot about that one though, didn't I?
You missed that one.
Whoops.
You missed that one. You got the first one, but you seem to have missed the second one. So I'm just wondering what's going on here, you know. And what kind of show
I've got those videos shared. If you want to pop them up too, we can take a look at them.
Yeah. Are we allowed to? Do we have permission? I'm not going to get a.
No, I received permission from the person who shot this to analyze this video and to use it.
Cool. Have you muted the audio, or is it going to send us?
It's just the guy talking. It's not music or anything. I'm not sure what it actually is. I'll drop it down. There you go.
No. I don't mind it. It's just when we echo. That's all. Sometimes.
There's something going on here. Check this out. It's a cube. That thing's a cube with lights. It's a cube.
It's kind of interesting.
There's a stabilized version after this that you get a better look at it.
Okay.
Thank God.
Yeah, right.
What kind of camera? What's the weather conditions? How many witnesses? No other information we ever get anymore.
Hold on though. This guy on his channel actually did a follow-up with I think 3 other witnesses who saw it and had them talking about it. Yeah. There is some more information.
What do I know?
We'll get to that. No, you're just seeing it for the first time, Rich.
I'm on Glenstone,
I know.
Springfield, Missouri.
Why I get in trouble?
That is a cube spinning on an axis.
Spinning on its
It's got lights
axis.
around it.
I don't see any of
the
that
day.
shit. All right, I'll be quiet.
In the middle of the day.
Do we chase Rich away?
I don't know if I'd say that there's lights, but there's certainly a reflection.
Yeah, I don't think it doesn't look like lights to me. It looks like something's reflecting off of just the material of the cube itself. I mean, that could be a fucking balloon. That could be a piece of trash floating around up there. Like, you know, it's really hard to see the detail in anything. You know, did you say you had a stabilized version of it?
Yeah, let's see that.
Yeah, let me drop out this other one, and then Ollie, you can add in that one, and we'll leave it muted so we could talk over it.
It looks like 2 balloons, a black and a white one.
Lee guy.
You know?
Thank you, mate. So when he asked Anjali, is she likes bacon, and get back to me.
Who hates bacon? Everybody likes bacon.
Unless she's vegetarian.
She's Jewish, man.
She
So.
might still like bacon, just not eat it. You never know.
Right. Good point.
I think anybody that, even if you're vegetarian, everybody's going to like the smell of it. You know?
I love
Like-
bacon,
Absolutely.
man.
Like the smell
I'd
of
go to
gas.
war
Right?
over bacon.
Yeah, yeah, Rich.
Right? I like the smell of gas, the smell of popcorn.
Right. I'll tell you guys, honestly, God, dude, the smell of skunk, like, I love it, man. I think it smells like really dank bud, dude. Like it
That's
smells
the conditioning.
That's interesting.
It smells like really dank ass weed, dude.
I've gotten that sometimes. You know, occasionally I've caught that. I wasn't sure if somebody was smoking nearby or if somebody had a skunk. It's true. I totally know what you mean.
Exactly.
You ever run over a skunk and then it can't get out of your car for like a week?
Yep, I've done that a few times, man, out in the country. Yep.
My car smells like that all the time.
I guess mine does too. Oh, look at this. Oh.
Yeah, there's your stabilized. It could be cropped a little better, but it's still stable.
Hey,
I'll tell you
Alien
what I-
Addict, can
Yes,
you do me a favor? Can you hit the button all the way to the right and give us full screen?
Yeah, there we
It
go.
didn't even matter. All right, bring us back. That is interesting.
What I thought first is, why do I always see these UFOs between electricity wires? But then it goes behind the wire, the last wire. So then I was like, oh, I won't even bother saying it.
But, I have to admit, that's an interesting one.
Yeah, that does look cool.
Yeah.
I'm looking
Better
for
than most.
consistency in way of that reflection. So if it's keeping a constant speed, we should be able to see this at a timed interval, and it doesn't really seem to do that unless this thing is flipping kind of end over end while it's rotating.
Yeah.
That movement doesn't necessarily make sense in way of a steady axis and this thing rotating around that one point.
Manny, do we know why he stopped filming?
No, I don't. But the person, I just talked to him last night, and they said that they would be willing to be interviewed and answer questions about it. So I tend to think this is a legitimate sighting, and that there was something there. He had a panel where he found 3 other people in his town of wherever he lives. I think he said it was Springfield, but anyways, he found other witnesses and interviewed them. So people have seen it. Who knows what it is, though? I tried to go back. My flight radar logs only go back 90 days because that's a subscription I have. But if someone's got a full annual one, then we can go back and look at the flight radar logs because there was 2 airports right there. We should have some data to see some other information. But this other video that I shared was the first cube that we were talking about earlier that was from 2 years ago. Check this one out, and you'll see it looks awful similar to that other one.
Hey, real
Oh
quick,
yeah, I was just watching this video.
Martinar says, who's losing all these balloons? There should be a registry. Man, that's a good point.
100%.
Now this sighting here, I initially I thought was CGI because I had gone to this guy's TikTok page who posted this, and he was a pilot, and he had about a half a dozen other similar type of videos on his thing, but they didn't have the UFO. It was where he was panning his camera down to the TCAS and then back up to the window, and it almost looked like he was shooting to get the best kind of one to put an image in, like practicing. So I kind of wrote this one off.
I am telling you this is CGI. Let me tell you why. If you look at the whole context of this sighting, there is no way in hell flying at the speed they are at, they saw this object way the fuck out there.
Yeah, right?
And it's focused the whole time. And to me, there's something... They move away from it and then they go back and it's right there because you can't see it at all when it's in the distance on the original version. I don't know. And it looks like there's a square around this thing. I know that's pixely.
I agree with Rich because, like, think about this. You got to see this tiny little object coming from how far away, and that he's just like, here's, he just happened to see it and happened to have his phone up to get it.
Yep.
Totally in focus. Totally in focus like, the entire time. It was able to. I mean, like, if you just catch a normal UFO outside and you're trying to get your camera up on it, you never get it as clear focus like this whole time. Like, I don't buy it, dude.
And you'll notice the pilot didn't pick up his radar or his radio and call it in and say, "Hey, there's an unidentified object up here." He should have done that immediately.
Yeah, how come this co-pilot wasn't saying anything to him? How come this co-pilot wasn't like, "Hey, look at this object out the window"? Like, wow, this is obviously, against FAA regulations. How close this thing is to us. Why aren't they even making any mention of it? Just, no, we're used to it. Like.
Yeah,
and that's another thing. That original footage, the footage that Lou is showing around, or allegedly is showing around, that was shot right in between 2 airports. And we all know there's all kinds of civilian radar around these airports. We should have had all kinds of information on that object.
Oh, right.
It should have been reported to the airfields. It should have been reported as a possible threat to the airplanes that are taking off and landing as well. If it wasn't just a bag or a balloon or something else, a garbage bag. So,
God, we are smart. Aren't we?
I can remember somebody debunking this, but they didn't say it was CGI. I'm sure somebody looked at the flight path that this pilot was over. Didn't this went up from a pilot, didn't it?
Yeah.
Originally, yeah. And there was some sort of festival, and they said that it was one of these huge balloons. And then I don't know. Something about me says it may have been Mick West, but then it all fell apart, and people were saying, well, they can't make it to that height. But then people said, yes, they can make it to that fucking height.
So those balloons you're talking about are like large kind of Chinese paper lanterns, right? They're the ones that have some kind of fire or something underneath them because they do ultimately catch fire and come back down, right?
They don't go this. This is like 10,000 feet, it looks like.
Well, he's above the clouds, isn't he?
Well, clouds can be anywhere 2,500 to 10, 20, 50,000.
Yeah, I was going to say, if he's cruising, he's like 45 to 50 on most cruising altitudes for
wow,
for
45.
jets.
I thought it was 30, 35.
Yeah, well, it might be as low as 30, but you never
get up that
they'll go
high,
up and down. Yeah. Not
Yeah,
50,
no-
I'm sorry, you're right, 30.
That's way too high for a balloon.
It would be. It would have to be big, thick, and wow.
Yeah.
I just don't see it.
Be careful.
No,
Yeah.
I won't be. It's my day. I can say what I want.
Oh, happy birthday! Shit! I meant to start the show with happy birthday, but I
was
waited
waiting
till
till after the show.
Oh,
Don't worry, I'm
it's
still going to get you,
Richard's
Richie.
No, it's not.
Oh, there he goes.
Yeah, he ran. He ran.
It's not my day. Leave me alone. Me and my big mouth.
Dude. Happy birthday, Rich.
to you.
How old are you? What are you? How old are you?
62.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
All right, I'm not.
You're
All
not
right.
52. Shut the
I
fuck
know. I'm 47.
up. All right. Yeah. Happy birthday, buddy.
Thanks. No, I'll be 54. Oh, well, I just was a couple of hours ago. Congratulations.
You're
You made it.
54 or 55?
54.
54? Congratulations. Happy birthday.
I know. I made another one. You're right.
Awesome.
Congratulations are in
You
order.
did it, dude. You made it. One more.
I thought I was going to die last year. Ask Michael every day. I'm dead.
That's true.
I'm going to
That's
die.
true.
I'm dying.
That's pretty much what it was, UFO proof.
Yeah.
He was there every day. I'm not going to make it, you guys.
Seriously.
He was serious. He's like, I'm fucking, I got corona.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
I-
gonna fucking die, dude.
Well, I think I had it twice. But no, I thought I was going to die, but I won't. I'm going to be suffering for another 20 years.
Yeah.
You're too tough, man. You're too
Yeah,
tough
kill
to
the
die.
strong.
I'm not tough. Ask my wife, Alien Girl. Her birthday was yesterday.
Happy birthday, alien girl, belated as it is.
Is it Alien Girl's birthday as well?
Yeah, it was her birthday
Happy
yesterday.
birthday.
And there was also somebody else's birthday yesterday. I forget. Can't remember who. I hear some feedback or something.
Oh, dude, it's Alien Girl's birthday yesterday? No. it
Yeah,
wasn't.
yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, now there it
Happy
goes.
birthday, Alien Girl.
There you go, Rich. She says you look good for 62.
Yeah. Thank you. Well, she should know. We know each other since we were high school sweethearts. That means she's 60. I take that back.
And you don't ever let a girl's age out, man. Come on.
No, I know. I won't tell everybody she's 38.
Everybody go
Funny.
subscribe to Alien Girl.
What about GUFON?
Your links are in the description, all of them. Everybody's
Yeah, yeah. Happy birthday to me.
I did.
Absolutely.
Now we've got Kyle and Manny in the same room.
Mile and Canny.
I bet
Premiering right after Key and Peele, right?
Yes. Oh my God, I can't believe the hat you're wearing. I almost wore the same exact hat.
Really?
No.
Man,
All right.
I was going to say, you should have gone with your intuition
He
birthday,
said
boy.
no.
I said no.
I knew that was coming. You guys, come on.
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry, Alien Addict Ollie.
No, you can ask the question, Rich. It's your birthday.
What question?
You know what I'm going to ask. We've got Kyle, we've got Manny in the same room together.
And I'm up here.
Exactly, you're in the middle, so you can do the honors because I'm going to get a beer. No, actually, no. I'm gonna
I'll ask the question.
So you guys see
Manny.
anyone?
Who's Lou? I don't even want to talk about it. So I'm not. I know Kyle watched your movie. And, you know, he said, he's looking right at him. So you said some things that I thought were interesting. Everybody has an opinion, and it's okay. You said that movie proved shit. It didn't prove anything. And in a way, I see your point that you were saying this doesn't really show that Lou has nothing to do with, you know, is ruining ufology, but it's more of a character piece than anything.
Yeah, it's like a hit piece. Is what it like, you know.
With
It seems like it was out to just make Lou look back. 'Cause it's like, let's go back and see that, you know, his childhood, or let's go see because he couldn't pay his mortgage, or, you know, like none of these things had anything to do with him doing something bad in ufology. Like he didn't do. It's like I don't see how any of that had any kind of relevance, as you know, to make because he didn't do something like how does that reflect on
Well,
someone
Judge a character. We need to
It's
know the
character.
character. That we need
You
to know
know-
what's your integrity. If you have a whole history of upsets and mystery, it does play on your integrity a little bit. And I think, if I'm not wrong, that's one of the things that Manny was attempting to highlight in going back so far with Lou.
But what did it show? How did it even show him being a bad guy? Like, what was it in there that said that he was bad?
Well, it's
Good
not
question.
It's not necessarily that he's bad. I think, people went into this movie expecting it to be a hit piece, and it certainly wasn't. It was something more informational than anything. And if nothing else, it gives us a foundation of who Lou is as a person and that character that's been shown off screen that we can now understand a little bit to bring back on screen when we see him talking about things.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, did it show that that hit? What did it say about his character? What did you get from his character from it?
Manning?
Like what about it had any kind of saying, oh well, this is what he this is why we could put this against him, because it's basically just like a biography of his past life.
Right.
But it seems like the way it was formatted, it seemed to be done in a way to try to make him look bad. Even if it was just, going off of stuff that had in his life, it did seem like it was attempting to, point the audience in a certain direction. Like, this stuff is no good, or it's mysterious because of this, or, it's shady because of that. But nothing in it really seemed to say anything bad about the guy, other than, what his life was growing up, or, trying to pick out inconsistencies and stuff, which really didn't make that big of a deal. I didn't see how it had any kind of judgment on somebody's character from it, because I didn't see anything that he did wrong. I still don't see anything that Lou has done wrong. For everyone to hate on the guy, I'm just like, give me something. Give me something to see where I'm like, he actually did something. Like you say, like he faked this photograph, or he faked this, or like give me something.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm just like, I just don't see it. I'm just trying to go with just the evidence. That's all.
Yeah.
I just don't see it, and so I just got to stand up and say, I don't see it, man.
Well, Manny, what do you think about that? Is there anything you can say that, because in a way I understand what UFO Proof is saying, and I didn't see any, that Lou fake shit or made stuff up either. But is this just a character thing that you were showing about the history of a guy and the businesses and his father's doings and all this stuff growing up, going against bullies, being a bully? What do you feel about what Kyle just said?
Well, there's a whole lot there, because we're talking about the intent of the film, and my internet dropped out at the beginning of this, and I had to reconnect, so I missed a little bit about what you guys were talking about, but I think I got the gist on the tail end there. And to answer the direct question about the hit piece element, if this was going to be a hit piece, it would have been a hit piece. Trust me, nobody who has ever had a problem with me or a clash with me has ever doubted it. They always know that there's some kind of an issue there, because I come right at their face with the evidence and hard. This wasn't a hit piece. It wasn't, like you said, it was a documentary to show his life. That's why it was Who's Lou? From his birth to yesterday. It was a documentary about the man, and I didn't want to try to get into all of the A-tip elements of it, because there's so much confusion of it. That's its own little piece. I need to separate that. And I'm never going to I'm a civilian investigator just like everybody here, so I'm not going to be able to get classified documents. I'm not going to get off the record stuff from inside sources. I don't get any of that. I'm not these people. But what I did do was spend a lot of time digging into his stories and his personal life. And what I expected was to find someone who was off the books, and it wasn't. I found a guy who had a normal life on the books that shows that he was a normal desk agent at the Pentagon, which is not really a normal life, but it is. There are normal people who live those lives. And, that's really what it was about. So moving on to what I found, to what I think is the most incriminating piece there, you have, and I'm just going to say her name because she runs Lou's social media now, his wife. She's part of his group now. She runs his social media. She goes to events with him. She answers as part of Lou Elizondo when she's talking to people on his behalf. She moved to Encinitas, California almost a year before Lou left the Pentagon. During that year of time, Tom DeLonge was setting up stock options for TTSA. He was getting everything in doing all these little chess moves to set that game up. And Lou was over at the Pentagon pushing for months to get those 3 pieces of video footage declassified along with other ones. The email chain that came with the DOPSAR request that John Greenwald released shows us that. Shows us there's like 6 emails where he's like, hey, get this stuff, get this stuff, get this stuff. Then we have the actual packaging from Mellon that shows that it was handed, has Lou Elizondo's name on it, shows the videos, and shows that he received those September 17th at 6 p.m., almost a month to the day before Lou quit. You know, so you've got this kind of organized, ongoing, there's enough probable cause in the way that I phrased it to the NCIS office, which I asked him about this and said, why hasn't the Navy investigated this yet? When there's enough probable cause in the public records to show that there was some kind of conspiracy or crime committed here, that people were trying to, one guy was going to get these videos declassified, another guy was going to hand them off to Mellon, he was going to walk them out. That's what gangsters and organized criminals do, so that they have compartmentalization.
So to me, it seems like 100% like these guys were working for ufology, trying to get the videos released.
So it's
doing
okay.
Everything they can. Okay. What is wrong about any of that you just said?
Okay, let me ask you this: if that footage would have gone to Russia or China, would you feel the same way?
You know what I'm telling you? What about anything?
If that footage would have gone to Russia or China, would you feel the same way?
I don't. It doesn't matter. I don't care. Why does that matter? That doesn't make.
It's a very important point, because they stole information from the Pentagon. It was released illegally. It was released improperly.
Yeah. They got it released legally. They got it.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. It was not released properly. Susan Go, the Pentagon spokesperson, has clearly stated that footage was released improperly. The thing is that it's all over now. It's like, we got it out. Who cares what what they did to get it out? I care, and I've been asking since day one. Thank you. I care, and a lot of other people care.
That's like you
don't care. The ends justify the means, right?
To get the UFO footage released.
Yeah.
What's
the
wrong
ends
with
justify
that?
the means? I don't know. Go kick in the door to Boeing Skunk Works then, and to Skunk Works, and go get the real information if you believe that.
If you think that that's a bad thing, that they worked their
I do. They didn't release anything. They got garbage. They got 3 pieces of garbage footage. Where's the radar data? Where's the chatter from the pilots? The Agua de Puerto Rico UFO has far more data on it and is way better than anything they released. And guess what? Nobody had to break a rule to get that out.
That has a lot of good stuff with it. I'm just saying that I don't see anything bad with what they did.
You don't?
Trying to get it out.
So then let the Navy investigate it then, and let them find that no crimes were committed. Because the only reason that there hasn't been any prosecution in this case is because there's been no investigation. You can't prosecute someone without an investigation. Lou Elizondo is using that fact to say, I didn't do anything wrong. That's not true. We all know how politics and prosecutions work, right?
Rich, what do you think?
I'm okay with what happened, that Lou got that footage out. I don't think it is what he's saying it is, but let's say it is. And he did whatever he had to do to get it out. In my book, that's okay. That's okay. I would do it.
Yeah. Mellon said, he's like, somebody bent the rules a little bit for the greater good.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's great. That's what they did in 9/11. That's how they told us that there were WMDs in Iraq. They bent the rules a little bit. Come on.
No, that's different.
Don't compare this to 9/11.
That's a little different. Yeah.
That's two totally different.
Fair enough. All right, fair enough.
Be careful with the 9/11.
Yeah.
Maybe that should have been an off the books comment so we could talk about it. Yeah, you know what I mean. Fair enough. I didn't mean to. Yeah, I wasn't trying to say it was like that. But there's greater goods, and I understand that too. But I don't trust Chris Mellon to determine what's in the greater good for me. And I definitely don't trust Lou Elizondo to do that, because he's made it clear that people who question him like me are the enemy. And I'm an American citizen, and one of those people he claims to represent and be fighting for. I didn't elect him to do that. We have a process for that. There are senators and there are presidents that we elect to represent us. We have a process for that.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, so you can see how you're acting against him, but then to say that you didn't try to format your thing into a hit piece doesn't seem to go together, because it seems that you seem very upset with Lou Elizondo, that you don't seem to like him very much, and so in your documentary, this is how it comes out.
Maybe I don't like people who lie to the world. Maybe I don't like people who abuse people. And
you
I mean, like, there's a history here.
When it does seem like it was more like a hit piece,
Well, that's your interpretation. Go right ahead. I know what my intent was when I made it, because I'm the only one who's privy to my thoughts. And instead of people trying to tell me what I thought, love when they ask. But, if you just want to tell me what I think, I mean, go ahead. Go ahead. Tell me what you think I thought.
That's what it seems like, and then it seems like you're actually,
Well, great. That's not what it was.
I believe it
I've already
even more
explained
now
100
that,
times. So
talking to you, it seems like you really did get upset with Lou, and like you got a serious problem with him when I don't really see anything wrong with anything that he's done. I just don't.
Well, then you
it.
don't. If you think it's okay for someone to lie to the Pentagon and to abuse their authority there in order to justify it with some greater good, that's great. But that's what the intelligence community banks on. I mean, come on, they always lie to
UFO stuff. I want to see.
So
it.
let me ask you this: do you think that the disclosure
lie
lie that was in our best interest is okay then too?
I think that if you're willing to put your job on the line to get these UFO videos released and stuff like that, then that's more power to you, dude.
He didn't have a job. He quit. He didn't put his job on the line. He quit. He didn't have a job to lose. He quit.
He quit his job so he can do stuff like this.
No, he quit his job so he could make a lot more money. Come on, man. Do you know what he made in 2018 at TTSA?
So what? I would have quit the job if I'm not making any money too.
Yeah.
You want to make money in life. You don't want to have to suffer and struggle.
Lots of government, lots of people move from the government into the private industry, but they don't do it like that. There's other people who do it other ways, and they get paid quite a bit of money, and that's fine. I mean, I get how that works. You do your government service, and then you use those contacts to get rewarded in the back end because government service doesn't pay. I mean, what's a GS9 make? $40K a year? I mean, you could make that at McDonald's for crying out loud with a little bit of overtime. I mean. It's a thankless job, and I get that, but I just don't see that this is in the greater good. And if it is, why wouldn't he just answer the questions? And let's talk about his response since the film. Kyle, you make some great points. Why hasn't Lou asked me those points?
Well, I can't answer for Lou.
But you are, and so are all of his fans when they come after me instead of saying, "Hey, Lou, why don't you go talk to the guy?" I will sit down and talk to Lou. I know you say that there's a little bit of anger there, and there is a little bit of anger because of the way the guy has responded to me, where he bullies me on Twitter when I ask him a simple question like, "Am I a part of your UAP family?" Even though I'm a critic, and he tells me, "How about a hot cup of shut the fuck up?" And all his and 89 of his friends give him little bumps. I can talk like that too. I can tell Lou to go F his. Come on, man, that's ridiculous. Oh yeah, but he's a celebrity and an influencer, right? And that's real appropriate ways for those people to act, right?
Manny, he is untouchable in his mind. You know what I mean? He can't lose, and he will not lose his authority, what he thinks he has as authority, or any other. He will always be the guy who goes on Fox and CNN who's talking about UFOs from here until the end.
Well, think about it.
And he knows it.
Think about this. If someone starts going if someone starts talking shit to Rich, you think Rich is just going to sit there and take it? If someone talks shit to me, am I just going to sit back and take it? Fuck no, dude. They're gonna hear it, dude, and they're gonna hear it bad, and they'll hear it worse than they gave, and that's just how some people are. That's how I am. That's how Rich is. Some people are just like that. It's like there's some people you just don't fuck with because they'll fucking give it to you. And there's some people you can fuck with, you can push around. Some people you can't. So I mean, I guess it just depends on the individual. When you go to war. These are some of the dudes you just might not want to fuck with, when you got someone who's probably killed people.
Right, but Kyle, there's other kinds of people on the planet too that can and take because they know that they're stronger people. People often mistake my restraint for weakness, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. It just shows. I mean, to me, it shows a maturity level because I'm not 21 years old anymore. I don't have to go run up to Lou and thump him in the chest and call him a BS and liar and say, "How dare you?" That's not how we play anymore. If he wants to express his immaturity to the world, let him. That's on him, and he did.
Did he actually offer you a hot cup of shut the fuck up?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the only time he's ever. Oh, you see, it's hilarious.
Funny, dude.
You know what?
Here's the thing,
Kyle, you want to know what? It made me laugh my balls off too. I laughed. It is funny. No, it is funny, and I think we think it's funny for different reasons, but at least we agree that it's humorous.
It is.
But the thing of the matter is, I mean, anybody who's in that position and somebody who thinks that they're untouchable in that mind because they hold a certain public persona has a responsibility to act with some sort of nobility. Yeah, I'm sure we all get emotional, and Twitter seems to be that playground for every sort of expression, if you will. But please, if you're going to be the face of something as big as ufology, fucking act like it. Act
Wait
professionally.
a second. No, I'm gonna have to disagree. Because would you want me to change?
You are being who you are.
Yeah, right
You
there.
you are being who you are. You have always had this certain edge about you, and you are not in the same seat that Lou is in way of disseminating some of this information to the public in such a large capacity.
But we don't know Lou. We're just still learning about Lou had to act a certain way when he was with TTSA. Once he left, he's a free man. He can be himself, and I think that's what he's learning. And I'm not defending what he did in the past. I still think he lied, and he has to. That's his job, all that stuff. But I see, but I see Lou now saying, "I'm going to take him out behind the barn. I'll really teach him." He's just doing what we're doing.
Well, I mean,
Right, excellent fucking point, dude. Because I certainly wouldn't deal with that.
And I get it, man.
Rich.
I've had time to digest a lot of this, Manny, over the last couple of weeks. I still don't agree with what Lou did and all those things and saying that things were a threat. Yes.
You're one of the most sincere and real people I think I've ever met in my life. And I think that's why you ruffle feathers with certain people, because they don't like that you're so sincere and true to yourself. If Lou had come out like that, I would say great, but he's not that way, and he never has been. He's one of the most two-faced and manipulative people I've ever seen in my life, and he's good at what he does. You know, you've seen it with him recently, how he started to crack and get more vulgar and get more aggressive and things like that. And I know you're saying that you think he's being more real now, but why was he fake for 3 years? You know,
he had to be. If I went to go work for, let's say, Apple or something, I had to act professional. That's what society thinks is how you're supposed to act when you're in the upper echelon of business and all sorts of shit. You know, that's what they want. I think that was restricting Lou, which is why he left TTSA and the Pentagon. I think he felt like he was being somebody he really wasn't, and he wanted out, because that's what I heard him say. And I heard him say that they were restricting what he can say, who he could interview with, and all that stuff. Maybe now, and I'm just thinking about it, man, that's it. I'm thinking I'm seeing somebody coming out of their shell and testing the waters of what they can get away with. And I think Lou is figuring it out, that if Giordano and GUFON can say this shit, why can't I? Why can't I speak my mind? And that's what I think we're starting to say.
Maybe that's exactly what it is.
You guys are giving him a lot of credit.
I'm not giving him credit. I'm not.
No, listen, I understand.
I'm just saying what I see. That's it.
I totally understand what you're saying, Rich. And, maybe he's taking the gloves off because, they're not weighted on by something else right now. Well, that's still going to play out in way of who we see the person as a character. And yet he's still going to represent the ufology that I know and love with that attitude in the forefront. When we say half of this stuff, we know it because, we have half in jest sort of way of saying things. Tongue is firmly planted in cheek. Like you said, Rich, we don't know Lou enough to say that that's definitely the case. I mean, who knows? Maybe you could cross paths with him down in Washington on the street somewhere and the guy punches you in the nose. You know what I mean? We don't know him at the very end of the day. But again, if you are some sort of public figure, and especially when it comes to, addressing the world at large, I think you need to have some sort of poise. Again, you can jab and you can rib all you want, okay? But still, you got to have some sort of poise. And maybe it's not justified if Manny asked a certain question, that was relevant to, continuing this research, and he's met with that sort of facade. I mean, I don't know. I get what both of you guys are saying. Believe me, I do.
I think you should be able to be who you are. And if this is a style of person that you are, then people should just, deal with it. And I don't think that you have to have any kind of, you don't have to hold yourself back. This is how I am in ufology, and this is what I'm known for. People know that I cuss and I'm mean, and I'll debunk and I'll say shit, and I don't hold back. People know that about me, and that's just how I am. People know that about Rich. He doesn't hold back. He'll say what he means, and that's it. And you shouldn't expect us to be any other way than what we are.
But let me just say something real quick about that, though. But let's say you are talking to families or people who have no concept of what ufology is, or the fact that UFOs are an actual phenomenon, and you're addressing folks that, a whole audience of people that would be put off by that sort of terse language. Would you continue to present yourself that way all the time, or would you somewhat augment your performance and stage persona to be able to reach those people as well?
Of course,
he does when he goes on First Phase of Moon.
If you're on family TV in front of everybody, okay, yeah, you want to have some kind of composure. But if you're on Twitter, you can.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And look, I see what Jennifer's saying. I'm not two-faced. How dare you say that? I'm not being two-faced. I back Manny on everything he did with Who's Lou. I'm just saying, 3 weeks have gone by since the movie's come out, 4 weeks or so. And I had time to digest and see Lou evolve, or maybe devolve, whatever you want to call it, seeing him be more real of a person. And I put out the videos that said, come on, Lou, let's go box it out. I'm there. I mean, I want to participate in that. And I understand what he's doing. I think he's finding his way and testing the waters because he never had the chance to. And that's what I think we're seeing now.
He could have done that before. He could
have, but it wouldn't have. Because if
he
you're
was
going to
building his public image, he wanted to ride those coattails so he could get into the big stream and sell his book and all of that.
100%.
So there you go. There's his motivations. He cares more about money than the truth. Bam.
But that's why,
maybe,
take Third Phase of Moon. That's why when we go on Third Phase of Moon, okay, we don't sit there and cuss and act a certain way or whatever. Like, when I go on there, they're good friends of mine. I go on their channel. I don't cuss. I don't, because I do it to, to make everybybody happy. But when on my
sell
channel,
a book deal for $250,000 either.
That's just how we are, So you just want to show certain, you want to hold yourself back on certain things. So that's what's going on. Here's the day when we work, just do what we want.
Or is he exposed now?
Every right to tell him to shut the fuck up.
Or is he exposed now and he's got nothing else, no reason to hide anymore?
So it's like,
maybe. That's a good point.
You guys have good points.
Maybe he is exposed.
He's exposed. He's got nothing less. Why hide it? Like they're doing everything they can to do damage control. Like you said, the movie's been out for a while. They've done everything they can to flood. And I say they because it's obviously a group of people running this persona known as Elizondo. But they've been on a half a dozen talk shows or more. Smearing you, me, anyone who had anything to do with this thing in some weird amalgamation of working for Greer or something. It's a strange thing where he balls all of his critics up into one entity he calls they, and then just starts yelling about criminal gangs and things like that, and it's just hilarious. No, that's what Lou says. No, that's what Lou says.
But you just said that too, though. You literally
I did.
No, he's repeating
in context. Anyways, so like I was saying, that's what they do. Yeah, like I met Lou and Jennifer, the ones who are running his account openly. Okay, have you emailed them? Do you know do you know who answers the emails? Do you know who runs a Twitter account?
It must be they.
It is they. Openly, they admit it.
Exactly.
So there you go. They. What was that hard? I missed that. But it seemed like just a filibuster conversation.
I'd just like to quickly say there to Jen. I said from the get-go to Manny, and I did say that, Manny. I said there was no hit piece here. I said all you did was factual information with that, and it was an awesome documentary. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And Melissa, the Boglins are in the cage upstairs. Thank you very much for the super chat. But we have Stephen Cambion in the chat, and he says, "How come Stephen? I don't invite you because your schedule's already different. I'm gonna invite you now, motherfucker." So.
And why can't I change the way I feel when I see things panning out the way they are? I know. First of all, I've never disliked Lou. I just didn't like the scripting. I didn't like the way it was presented. That's what I've always said. I don't know Lou to dislike him. So I just didn't like the game. And I think now we're seeing the real Lou. Maybe Manny's right. Maybe he's been exposed after he went on Dave Scott's show and said, I don't deal with terrorists, and he's a crybaby, and this and that and the other thing. We saw Lou for the first time be real. And that's what he wants, I think, everybody to see him as the guy next door who just happens to be in UFOs, worked at the Pentagon, secret UFO programs.
It's great that he got to have his cake and eat it too. He got to ride that on up, that whole nice guy image for years, and now he's exposing himself to be a bully and a tyrant and someone who can't handle criticism in the slightest bit. But he got to have his cake and now he gets to eat it. Great.
Do you know
But he's losing supporters over it left and right.
But
it's not me.
But Manny, I lose a lot of people with the things I say, and I had to curtail some things I've said over the years too, just to be more, presentable to the public, because things have changed over the years. It's cancel culture. Watch what you say; they'll get rid of you, like they're trying to do Joe Rogan. But yeah, he has, I think. this is a very tough time for everybody. We don't know what's going on now. Everybody's on pins and needles. And I think Lou may or may not have some information that we could all use. So who knows what he knows? We don't know. We only know what he tells us, and that's
But
frustrating.
he's not going to release anything against his NDA, remember? And he's not-
Right.
Yeah,
But he can
so-
show it privately to behind the scenes to people.
No, that's footage he was showing privately was something that a guy shot up and put on YouTube. It's something like that you
Oh.
would put on and people would mock you and say, you can't put that on. How do you know that's not CGI?
Oh, that's what it is?
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
I thought it was
The guy-
some secret shit that he was showing people.
Nope.
No.
I shot it over Michigan in October.
Wait, that's the video we just saw?
Yeah.
That cube is what he's secretly sharing behind the scenes?
Yeah, and it'll probably be the stills that are in his book because he got permission to use them.
All right.
Good for him. Yeah. By the way, since
an
Third
interesting
Phase is
video.
here, what do they think the public would have said if they would have shown that video? I'm real curious because I have my own thoughts that people would have called them hoaxers if they'd have put that up. I know they would have laughed at me if I put it up and said, "This is a UFO, guys. This proves that UFOs are real."
Yeah,
like
they
Lou's trying to
wouldn't
do.
have said that. They wouldn't have said that they were hoaxing if Third Phase put that up, dude. You know, I don't think so. I don't think so at all, dude. You know,
well, they may have said what the fuck
10 years
was.
ago. You know, but nowadays there's no way that if Third Phase posted that people would say that that's hoax or faked anything. Not for a second do I believe that.
It's not a bad video.
You know, the video, the video's fine. It doesn't look like it's a faked one, you know, and
No, it
And
looks
I-
like one of
I
a
know
million
it's so
videos
good.
you can watch on the MUFON site every day or on YouTube. You're right.
Exactly.
It doesn't look
just
fake.
because it's on Third Phase of Moon. People don't necessarily just automatically say that it's a hoax video just because it's on Third Phase of Moon. You
I was
know?
just curious what their opinion on it would be because I've seen them share stuff that looks way better than that and get yelled at for it.
Oh, I
That's
know.
all.
Yeah.
Mark asked,
You know?
how did I know what video Lou is showing? And that's
No,
because
it's trash.
Josh and Artemis
Good
outed it
photos.
last night. Yeah, they showed them all last night. You'll have to go to Josh and Artemis's show to get that information.
Look at this. The Third Phase agrees with those pictures, though. What that Anjali put out or whatever. They look like crap. They're total just trash photos, man.
I'd have put it on my desktop as a
You know?
wallpaper for a day first. Come
Yeah.
on.
I know,
Sure.
right? Those photos are ridiculous. I can't believe that she posted those things. And yeah, this is legitimate crap, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Why does she believe that, though?
She's got her reasons with
She
the
doesn't.
ETs in a cave and this and the other thing that we're never going to see. You know? I mean, listen,
You
I'm
know?
not one to go after people, but if you make a promise or you give us something and say, hey, wait on, we're coming, we're going to do this, we're going to show you something, and then fucking don't, I'm sorry, dude. I mean, you know, you do this more than once, I mean, goodbye. I mean, that's it. You're out of the field, and at least in my mind, you know, false promises are just as bad as certain disinformation in certain ways.
By the way, Truthseekers, we already showed the Anjali tweet, the Twitter stuff,
That's
when you
fucking
sent
funny.
it to me. As soon as you sent it to me, I looked at it and we showed it on here, and that's what we're talking about. It's amazing.
That fake photo, that's
Yeah.
ridiculous, dude. You're like, who posts that thing and that this is legitimate? Like, what an
Hey.
insult to ufology to sit there and say, oh yeah, this kind of photo, like this is a genuine, you know? No, it's fucking not. What are you fucking excited? Like, really?
This is legitimate. Legitimate.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
and
probably-
Jolly's going on Tom Fessler's show is what the latest news is. She'll be on there on the
boy.
12th, it looks like.
Oh, I
So
see
she
what's
won't go
going.
on. She won't go on Truthseekers to answer the Wayne, story, but she'll go on Tom Fessler's show, a knowingly sympathetic and open
And
program.
yes, and it's nearly the same time as his interview with Wayne.
Elizondo. Oh, Wayne.
Yeah.
Wow.
Going. Yeah. it's,
Well, I guess that answers my question of if Anjali and Lou are working together.
I was gonna make the parallel
hell?
if nobody else did. Man, you beat me to it.
Oh my
So
God.
she's going on the show to the guy who doxed Truthseekers, released his name and address, and even were the people who threatened his
That's
wife.
despicable,
What, someone
Anjali.
doxed him?
Oh, yeah.
That guy whose show
what
she's
a
going on.
shitty fucking move, dude.
Oh yeah,
That-
all of
I'm
us. They're
sorry.
doxing all of us.
I'm sorry, but I don't matter. All the people I fucking hate, I would never dox anyone. That is
Legit.
Right.
a shitty fucking move, dude. And I
Yeah.
fight with people all the time, dude. People fucking, they go off on me, dude. And so believe me, I understand, but when you go and you dox somebody, I don't care how much you fucking hate somebody, man. You don't go around doxing motherfuckers. You get all kinds of people like sickos harassing you and just, that's just the worst fucking thing you could do to somebody, man. I think it's such a shitty fucking move. Whether you like somebody or not, don't fucking dox people, dude. And if somebody dox truth seekers, that's just a fucked up move, dude.
Kyle, let me ask you this though, real quick, dude. You saw Who's Lou? Did you feel like I was doxing Lou in that film? Do you feel like
Lou in that film? No, I don't think you were doxing Lou in that film.
Okay, thank you. Because a lot of people have portrayed it as not only a hit piece, but as a doxing piece that I was going after his family on all this other stuff. I'm glad to hear you say that.
No, that's not doxing at all, dude. Anyone who says that's a fucking idiot, dude. You didn't dox him at all in that. You're just simply going over stuff that's available to the fucking public. I mean, when you're like going out, when you dox somebody, I mean, you really fuck with them. When you put all their information out there like that, because the people on the internet are fucking little trolls and shit, dude. They'll harass the crap out of you. It's not right, because the thing is, when you dox somebody, you're not just doxing them, you're doxing their whole family, and then you got people coming up and, who knows what's going on with them. Truth seekers people could be harassing his wife. People could be harassing his kids. Like fucking. I don't know if he has a wife or kids or whatever. I'm just saying that, you get what I'm saying. Like, you go and you dox him, you dox his whole family. And these people have nothing to do with it. Literally nothing to do with anything. Are getting fucking harassed and getting pizzas delivered to their jobs and shit, or getting swatted. Like what the fuck kind of bullshit is that, dude? It's ridiculous, man.
Yeah, it is ridiculous. And like Rich was saying, it's been everybody. It's been me. It's been my family. It's been Rich. It's been Stephen Cambion, Dark Sky Files, other people who are just friendly and not even a part of this.
Getting doxed and shit, dude.
Yes. Yeah, they're doxing anybody who's connected to me and Manny or anything having to do with
that's
the movie.
show that Lou's going on this next week on the 12th or whatever.
Ryan's.
Somebody needs to dox fucking Ollie over here, you smug motherfucker.
Mate, my wife would probably murder them.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
She's a vicious little bastard. I'm telling you.
You don't want to mess with that old lady. I bet you, man. Like, Ollie's the nice guy, but she'll rip your head off and beat you to death with it.
I'm that fly. Nobody's noticed my fly. I'm this fly.
Oh, you got him.
So Truthseekers is saying, well, she must condone that type of behavior going on his show.
I tend to agree.
Why else would you do it?
Right. That speaks a lot about her.
I don't know why anyone would go on that show.
Talking about?
It's a horrible place to go.
Disclosure tonight. Tom Fessler, it's the guy who's been doxing everyone, and
I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what? I know so little about UFO Twitter. It's fucking laughable, dude. I always hear all this crap going on with UFO Twitter. I'm like, I know so little. I'm on Twitter, so I talk to fucking Ollie on Twitter.
Kyle, we're in the same boat, brother.
Like it, dude. I don't even fuck around with Twitter.
I don't fuck with Twitter either.
You don't fuck with Twitter either, yeah.
Not at all, brother.
I'm a YouTube guy, man. That's my thing. I'm down with YouTube, and that's about it. Twitter,
Well, they're on YouTube, yeah, obviously. But.
Yeah.
And there's some good stuff on Twitter. Like, I got all of my Ukraine information from a guy who was getting pictures from people on the ground with their cell phones, were sending them into him as things were going on over there the last couple of months.
It's like, I see that stuff on Twitter. That's the only stuff I actually pay attention to. UFO Twitter, I don't pay attention to, because there's too many shit talkers and people who are just so full of crap on there. I'm just like, it doesn't seem real to me. It just seems so fake. I don't like UFO Twitter.
It is its own little entity. UFO Twitter is like a separate pocket of Twitter where you're like, wow, this is kind of weird and crazy and fun, but I'm out of here.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to do it.
So, Kyle, now that you and Manny is kind of like you're calm with each other, I want to rile it up again. Why should we trust Lou?
Well,
Steven.
What up, Steve? I wouldn't necessarily say that you should trust anybody in fucking ufology. You should always hold yourself back from trusting everybody 100%, because you don't really know. He could be completely full of shit. This is true. So you got to be able to, you got to hold yourself back from, being 100% on anything, but you got to go off of the evidence. And I'm just going off of the evidence. And what I see, the stuff that other people are saying is bad, to me, necessarily, I don't see it as being that bad. I don't really see what he did as being bad. So now Manny could disagree. Manny could say, well, what I see is that what he did is really fucked up. And, it's just, it's good and evil. It's a point of view, really, what it comes down to. And from my point of view, I don't see that anything that Lou has done in ufology is bad. In fact, I would say, if you were going to trust him, it'd be because of what he has done. And what he has done, what I have seen, is him, put the extra, power into to try to get UFO videos released, try to get Congress to have meetings on UFOs and try to get, more information released. We got the UFO task force put together, and so I've seen him do nothing but, good stuff for ufology. And so I can't say anything bad about it. I haven't seen him try to put out any hoax videos. I haven't seen him try to try to make, people sound crazy, or try to lie and try to sell documentaries to make money, or just like, putting out bullshit. I haven't seen him do anything bad. I've only seen him do stuff that was basically good for ufology. And so that's what I'm going off. That's why I would say, you could trust him maybe 90%, maybe, you still want to hold back about 10%. I mean, he was in the fucking Pentagon, so I'm sure that they're used to doing all kinds of, backdoor shit and being able to conceal it. But for the most part, I don't really see anything wrong with what he's done. So I've seen really nothing but basically good stuff. And I got to stand up for what's right, and that seems right to me. He doesn't seem like he's done anything bad. I just don't see it. And the stuff that he has done, like, even if they had to do do stuff that's not totally legitimate or legal to try to get those videos released, well, I'm kind of glad that he did, even if it is kind of he had to do some underhanded stuff to get the videos released. At least he got them released, because now the world is talking about it. Everyone's talking about it. UAPs are a lot more acceptable in mainstream news and stuff, whereas before they wouldn't like the New York Times wouldn't touch a UFO story, and now they talk about UAPs all the time. Like, you see it in a bunch of different.
Yes, and it all started with him feeding them fake information. The New York Times original article started with him feeding them fake information.
Well,
So,
I'm talking about like the information that he put out is just the UFO videos that got released. It just the story
which he may have illegally obtained from the Pentagon and then profited from for 5 years straight.
Yeah, it doesn't seem that bad.
Let me ask you a question. If I worked at the Pentagon and I illegally obtained videos of the Iraq War and then I profited from it for 5 years, do you think that the government would prosecute me for that?
I don't know. I'm not the government.
I believe that they would, but
Yeah,
for
but
some reason,
intellectually-
Christopher Mellon and Lou has gotten a pass. But kind of burn out of the Lou thing. I wanted to jump on here to tell Ali about this Anjali thing. So, because I know Ali had an interest and hosted her, and so we have the Wayne interview, and even she now is saying. First, she lied and said I had the right Wayne. Now we've definitely got the right Wayne. So the interview with the real Wayne, her Wayne, will be this Saturday at 7 p.m. on my channel, Eastern Time.
Okay.
And I believe that her entire story is going to come crashing down. And I also believe that it's no coincidence that she books herself on a show that just doxed me, released my private information, my legal name, my address. Somebody right after that came in the live chat and threatened my wife, saying they were right outside my house with address, with street, in my live chat. I have sent her all the proof that show and their show hosts did that with their names on Twitter, all the doxing. I've sent it to Anjali just now. So if she goes through with that, to me, it looks like a form of retaliation against me for hosting the Wayne interview, which, by the way, I've been very quiet about what he's going to say. I'm going to tell you right now, this Wayne interview is going to completely and totally destroy her entire story. And she's going to go to them for damage control because they don't like me. and it looks terrible for her. But I told her, you do you, I'll do me, and it is what it is. But her entire story is coming crashing down.
That's a shitty move that anyone who, Steve, I feel so bad for you hearing that it was that you got docs like that your wife or your family, that is such a shitty fucking move.
Well, I'm not truly concerned. I'm not truly concerned with my family's safety. These people, it's just a form of threat and intimidation. It's a way to shut people up. Stop talking about what you're talking about. We know where you live. But
that's just a fucked up move, dude.
But
you don't do that to anybody.
I agree, but I think this entire Anjali story is coming crashing down this weekend. So she's going to go over there and try to do damage control. And by the way, it's almost the same time as the Wayne interview. So I think that's an attempt to get views away from that, to get eyeballs off of that and ears off of that interview. We may reschedule it for another time then, because I want.
Oh, is it scheduled at the same time as your show?
She's doing hers 1 hour before I'm doing mine, but I'm sure there'll be some overlap, Yeah,
because it could run long,
I don't think you should. I think you should play them both at the same time and then ask questions to the other channel.
Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll
That's
do
a
that.
great idea. That's a great if she's going an hour before.
I can't play any of his videos because he will copyright strike me just as he did to other people.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'll monitor what's going on there or try to, but
or it'd actually be better just to wait and get her whole show, and so you can actually come back and answer everything that she's saying. Or
and then Wayne can listen to whatever she's going to say, and
you can go back and answer and say, oh, see, she's full of shit here, she's full of shit there. And this is now it's the evidence. It might be better just to even wait even longer to be after her show, whatever, and get all that stuff.
Yeah, I have to think about the best way to do it for a bit. But I've been publicizing that all week, and she told me that this appearance on that show was pre-planned. But it's not a coincidence.
Bullshit.
Come on. Bullshit. It's pre-planned. They just announced it today. If it was pre-planned, they would have been talking about it before. Before my announcement.
Do your show at your time. Take whatever he's got over there. They'll come over to your show. Trust me.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
I don't
just
think
overpower him.
I don't think she has anything new to say. I think she's got a lot of damage control in the works and whatever. But just for on the record, I sent her all the proof of all the stuff that show's been doing to everybody. And if she goes on that show anyway, then to me she's condoning all that behavior. And it's no coincidence that this show's not a big fan of mine, and they've done all these things and released my address, my legal name, and just because I'm telling you, her entire story is coming crashing down. That's what I believe, having pre-screened and talked to this Wayne for a while off air. He's pissed, and his wife is pissed, and they're going to tell their side of the story, and it doesn't look good for her at all.
Well, going even further, why would you go on a show where there's the potential, if you get on the wrong side of this host at some point, either during the show or afterwards, that he would come around and possibly use that as, an alternative to communicate with you? I'm just going to dox you. Why would you even bother going on a show like that, especially if even you just sent that information?
Yeah.
For all I know, they're gonna cozy up to her to get the clicks and views, and then they're gonna dox or threaten or slander or intimidate or harass anybody that's speaking against her, just like they did with Lou.
Well, you sleep with dogs, you get fleas, man. That's all I can say.
Don't you love that their lives are ours?
Well, I love bottom feeders because I kind of feel like, really, this is a big story that I have this Saturday, and you're going to bottom feed and do another story that's sort of competing. Right?
Don't worry, we want to see fucking Wayne, man. We don't want to see Anjali.
We don't need Anjali.
You're right, Stephen.
I don't know one of these fucks are. I don't know who Wayne or Anjali is, dude. And I don't even know who either one. I've never even seen a video of this chick, dude.
Oh,
I've never heard. All I've seen is a fucking thumbnail of her. That's all I've ever
That's a
seen.
long story.
Guys, I'm
Yeah.
going to have to run here in just a little bit, but I wanted to say something about Anjali and Steven. I've watched Steven and Anjali's interactions from day one, and Steven's been very diplomatic, very respectful, and very, very professional with her. And the fact that she's responding to him in this manner is very revealing about her mentality and who she is. He gave her a chance last week to come on and answer this stuff before he even published it. He's like, "Hey, I'm going to publish and talk about this stuff, but I'd like to get your side of the story." And she
and I told her,
immediately
you
declined.
can't blame me. I'm following the story since the beginning. If this is a huge new development, your so-called witness to these events is going to come and dispute most of what you said. I'm going to cover that because I'm trying to bring my listeners to the truth behind the story, no matter where it leads. She can't blame me for hosting that guy. She, but apparently she's pissed. I guess.
And you've been very diplomatic and very respectful with her.
Yeah, well, that's about to end now. I've got very little patience left now. I just, the story's going to go where it's going to go.
This is why you can't be nice to these people.
Yeah, I'm really disappointed too because I've been communicating with her privately, and we've always had really good.
Yeah, she's very nice, but I think I'm starting to realize that that niceness is actually is one of the ways that she manipulated me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
She was very, very kind to me, and so I was equally. I mirrored that kindness back to her instead of going scorched earth on her. And hindsight's always 20/20. When she admitted that she just lied straight to my face about the first Wayne being the right Wayne, and we had the right place, I should have reacted a little more strongly, but I just kind of let it go, and I went, okay, well, I knew that we would find him, and I hoped that we would get the interview, but
Not again. Not again.
Before Manny goes, I have to say, look, I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here. I see what Lou's been doing lately, and I loved your movie. I wasn't trying to go against you or be two-faced, but things change and opinions change over time, and that's all I was doing was expressing what I've seen and throwing it out. Maybe Lou's trying to be this way. Maybe he's now being himself, and he couldn't before. It has nothing to do with me not liking your movie or the points you made. So I just want to let you know it had nothing to do with that. I was just pointing out what I see. That's all.
Well, that's another point about Lou too. He's got that thing where he says nobody should be, treated meanly or harassed or any of that kind of stuff. In that 5-point thing he says, and this is my opinion, and I'm entitled to it. I think that Lou loves what that other show host did to everybody. I think he loves it.
I agree.
He's a public figure. He can't be seen to be that vicious and nasty to people. So,
who?
T-Fog.
Who's?
Yeah, Uncle
That
Fester.
friggin' other guy.
So what does he do though? This Uncle Fester goes out, slanders, intimidates, threatens, harasses, doxes everybody that hosted Manny and talked about the film. That other show host went, threatened, intimidated, harassed. They even doxed Manny's girlfriend, right? They doxed Manny's girlfriend live on their show, me live on their show, others live on their show.
They're continuing to dox me and my girlfriend on a
telling
daily
people to
basis.
go
It's been going on for a month.
Report
plus.
Rich for cyber stalking or bullying, all these other things. I think Lou loves that. These are his lackeys, his useful idiots. And what does he do now? He's going to reward Uncle Fester by going on his show again.
Yes.
To thank him for doing all that. That's my opinion. That's my speculation, and I'm entitled to it. And if Lou was a man, he would come on my show or Rich from GUFON show and answer real questions. He won't.
Or Third Phase of Moon. Or anyway.
Or Third Phase of Moon, yeah.
Why would he go on a show with 800,000 subscribers?
I got a couple questions for Lou. And Rich, I appreciate you saying that, dude.
He bailed out of this Josh and Artemis show because he got wind that they were going to ask him some real questions.
Yep.
That's what I think.
That's the problem, dude. That's something I don't like about Lou, and it seems in combination of his circles and manner of talking, and then only deciding which channels he wants to go on, and it seems to be a pattern where there's smaller channels he'll go on where they're just asking preliminary questions, cursory questions, elementary, rudimentary questions. That we've asked 100 million times before, so he can say it again in the same roundabout way. This is why I have a problem with Lou, first and foremost. Yeah, he's got his history.
Because he's willing to go on little channels.
No, only the shows that agree with him.
And they're not going to challenge him in way of what he has to say, or even give him questions that are hard hitting,
or even do any research or opposition research. Why hasn't anybody asked him what he actually did for a full-time job at the Pentagon? Because it wasn't working on UFOs. That project had zero funding.
He was in the
biodefense. Yeah, he was not working on UFOs full time. That was basically, I guess, a rogue operation. Him and his buddies at the Pentagon were using their access to try to find things out or whatever. He was not working full time on that.
Right.
Why doesn't anybody ask him that? Why doesn't anybody ask him who was the person that got those videos from his hands to Chris Mellon's? Why doesn't anybody ask him that? Why doesn't anybody ask him, where's the TTSA spaceship that he promised us? They promised us a goddamn spaceship. But why doesn't anybody ask, how much money did you make at TTSA? And do you owe an apology to the investors that paid your salary for years for nothing? What did the investors get out of TTSA? Nothing.
None of these questions sound like anything bad. I don't understand. Like, even if he answered them, like, I don't think any answer.
But he won't. He won't answer these questions, and no one will have the courage to ask him. And anybody that has the courage to ask him these questions, he won't go on their show because he's a coward.
What could the answer be that would be devastating? Like,
he can't answer them. He did it for corrupt reasons.
Transparency.
You know, like,
dance around him and sell his book.
You know, like, it was this guy. I got paid this much. Okay, so what?
Well, remember though, his number one promise on Twitter is, "I will always tell you the truth."
Did you invest in TTSA? Because a lot of people did.
I got paid $37,000 a year. So what?
Or 150,000 plus
and the
another
investors got screwed, so he could make that money. The investors made nothing back.
Any of these questions, like, what's so bad about anything that you're?
What's bad about profiting from an investment scam where none of the investors got any money back, but he made money? What's bad about that? That's bad. He owes those people an apology. He owes those people an apology.
It's a public benefit company. Remember that too. It's not a corporation. Yeah,
it's a public benefit. I just don't see it.
But people donated thinking they were going to do something and never did it.
Remember what we were talking about Elizondo buying stock into TTSA and stuff like that.
He won't tell us how much money he got back or how much money he made. Because he lost money.
No, sometimes you just put in money, just, not even thinking you're going to get money back. You're thinking you're just basically helping out a company. More or less, as you're just like, because I don't think Franco's, thinking he's going to get a return on his money. I don't think
not a return, something.
Wait a minute. Why would you invest money if you don't expect a return?
More or less hoping to get
promised everybody a freaking spaceship. I want to ride in a TTSA spaceship. God damn it.
Steven, that spaceship's gone. It's no longer mentioned in their science division at all. They don't even talk about it. The only projects that the science division's working on are Atom and the laser beaming energy system, and then that industrial rapid response propaganda machine. They've got a few other projects. It's all put off. Techno scams is what they are. All of them.
To stick up for Osvaldo Franco there, he actually did put money into Stephen Greer's film, that Sirius, as well, because he's in the credits.
The Cosmic Hope.
Oh, no, he's not, did he?
Really?
Cosmic Hope.
That's great.
That's what he
good for him. If he wants to support that, good for him. But he should tell us how much he invested in TTSA and how much money he got back as an investor. Why won't any investor talk to us about that?
TTSA hasn't posted more than $400,000 profit. In 2020, they had I think 56 million in debt in and out, and they posted 400,000 in profit. They could have paid bills with that, and they could have made more profit. But what they did was pay stock benefits out with the money that they got in. So
that's what fucking everybody does, dude.
Not companies that want to stay afloat.
They're always doing stock buybacks and shit, dude. Every company that wants to buy back.
No. Not every company has $56,000 in debt and $56 million in debt and $56 million in equity to zero out. That's not at all common. Not at all.
I have no idea what company you're even talking about that has that kind of debt.
The Stars Academy of Arts and Sciences Incorporated.
Oh, okay. So fucking
per the SEC filings.
Yeah, Franco just lost all his money, basically, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and it all went into DeLong's pocket.
That fucking sucks.
Anybody who donated did, yes.
It went into DeLong's pocket and his sister. All the money benefits him and his sister the most. She's getting paid $150,000 to be a PR person. Where is she doing PR? I haven't seen her.
I don't even know of her, dude. I didn't even know
Right.
you had a sister.
I know.
PR. Like, I've never
That's a
even
nice
heard of her.
job.
No, you're right. She's the one that
150K?
runs all their webpage and does all their To the Stars tweet, except for the tweets. Like Tom DeLonge does them under Tom DeLonge, but To the Stars is all handled by his PR person, which I believe is his sister, who's also named in the DeLonge Family Trust as a beneficiary, which owns everything. That's the trust that owns all that stuff.
Por supuesto. Of course.
Yeah.
Mucho gusto, not generoso.
Hey, look, Lou Elizondo's in the chat, the faker. Come on, bring that guy on. Bring this clown on.
No, that's the real one.
All right, bring him in. Come on, Lou. Man up or walk away.
How'd you know that's the real one?
It's
Area
not.
503, that's not him. He would never say that.
What did he say? I can't even see this.
It says Area 503 knows all about ripping people off and scams, right, Richie boy?
Richie boy, yeah. Oh yeah, that's definitely real. That's
Yeah,
definitely
I know.
the biggest con man to hit the scene in
Yeah, you
10
can tell.
years.
I don't
I
know what
guess-
that means. Why would I know?
You know?
Yeah.
It's like he spelled his name wrong and shit, dude.
Yeah.
Well, if it is Lou, feel free to email.
It's not
him and
Lou.
I'll
I
take
wish
it.
I wish. I would love to talk to Lou.
I-
face to
yeah,
face. I
that's
wouldn't
cool.
argue with him. I
Fucking
just,
Lou, dude.
Or
Luck
any-
is lucky today.
Or
How
anybody
ridiculous.
else that has a camera that doesn't have a load of interference in the background that wants to come on with Kyle.
Thank you, Helen.
'Cause I don't, because I would like more. I wanted Osvaldo Franco. This,
Yeah.
Kyle. By the way, this wasn't planned to be this show. This was about 80s finger.
I didn't even know what the show was about. This is another unstructured show. Come to our fucking head.
It's
Richie, ouch.
Ouch, Elliot.
It started with this.
GUFON lives.
Subscribe to Truthseekers.
Who's Lou?
Oh, look at it.
Oh, you got the white little robe.
Oh, yeah, Manny's got one too.
Where'd he go?
Oh, yeah. I even got a package of Reese's Pieces in the corner, man, for later, you know. We're good.
Atta boy.
Yes. I'm going to have to go, guys. I got to run, but it's
Yep.
been good talking to everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Kyle, if
Andy.
you ever want to
Absolutely,
talk
bro.
again about Lou, dude, hit me
Yeah.
up, dude. We'll talk either off the record or on the record.
Should
man.
do a show.
You're
Yeah,
all
whatever.
welcome to come on my show as well. Everybody here is welcome to come on my show. You know.
Well, I'll
Yeah,
be there,
yeah, I was
Steven,
gonna say the
Saturday
same
for
thing.
the Anjali stuff. You bet your butt. I'm going to be watching that, man.
Yep, me too, bro.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Yes,
gonna be doing a show
Steve.
over on my channel, dude. You guys are more than welcome to come on my show anytime, man. Alien Act's actually gonna be hosting a show on my channel. So all you guys are welcome on there anytime you guys want. You know, Steve, Manny, Dark Skies, GUFON, of course, Ollie, everybody. You guys, everyone
Thank
on
you,
here, you guys
brother.
are all welcome. Come on my show anytime you want. You guys want to debate whatever, you know, or you want to promote something, come on my show, come say what's up anytime. But I'm with Manny, you guys, because I'm about to dip out of here. But I want to thank Ollie for letting me come on and say what's up with everybody. And I had a great discussion with you guys. I had a great episode. I had a lot of fun with you guys, man. And,
Nice
thank you
actually
guys.
talking to you face to face here, Kyle, and meeting you in this capacity.
Yes,
Many
definitely.
fantastic. Both of you, going back and forth, kept it very intellectual within what we were speaking on. I have to tell you, I really respected that, and I enjoyed it fully watching you guys go
Yes,
back and
me
forth.
too. Yes,
Yeah.
definitely, man.
good
I
shit.
agree.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you
All
guys.
right.
See you guys.
All
Giddy
right.
up.
Take care, everybody. Have a good
Well,
one. Be safe. Have fun.
There goes Manny.
Ciao.
There goes UFO proof. And then there were 3.5.
Yeah, I'm probably going to bounce.
So
Go ahead,
Stephen,
Ollie, I'm sorry.
it's
Yeah.
Saturday. Saturday's the big night. Don't change the time. Do not.
No, I don't
change
think I'm going to. I'm
Just do
99% that that's a bad idea. I'm going to
Wipe
do it
him
when
out.
we said-
What
'cause
time
I've
is
been,
it,
I've
Stephen?
been 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time this
Okay.
Saturday. So I've been tweeting that all week. So I don't want to
Yeah.
change it, and then people are,
Yeah.
you know.
Right. Keep it.
In fact, I'm going to post the stream tonight after I get done with tonight's show. I'll post the stream and I'll put it all over Twitter so people will have the link.
When are you on tonight?
I have no idea. I was supposed to be on at 7, but I'm going to push that back. So we're doing the last hour of David Wilcock deconstruction tonight, and that'll be fun.
Well,
Cool.
Stephen, she was Anjali was supposed to come on here after I watched your show when you spoke about the evidence that Charlie Weiser.
Charlie Weiser, yeah.
I've been speaking to Charlie also, I've asked her to come on the show. She won't go on any show.
I know she won't come on my show either. Yeah, I've been begging
Smart.
her for 3 months.
Yeah, very smart. This is the thing that got me, that perked my interest back up, is why is Wayne and Trisha real in the first place?
What?
Well, some events happened, but unfortunately they did not happen nearly the way that Anjali describes. I mean, yeah, they did meet her in a coffee shop. They invited her back to their house, and that's where the stories diverge. Her story is very fantastical, involving, a tunnel and an alien base and all these alien experiences. And she sort of put them out as almost like co-experiencers, but they had been watching, and they hadn't heard from her in a couple of years, and then suddenly she's at the Washington Monument saying that she's meeting aliens at their house, and they were like, what? And so and then there was this whole back and forth with her trying to do an expedition, and they were like, what are you talking about? And so it's an interesting story, but I at first thought that they were imaginary friends of hers. I didn't think they were real either. Right. Then we got confirmation. We found him. It is the real guy, but it wasn't. She lied and said it was to protect the other real ones. I think she's been trying to stop these people from telling their side of the story since she started her story. And unfortunately, her delusions are going to come crashing down after this interview. I think she's going to have a lot to answer for, because they dispute most of her account.
I would be very interested in finding out why Wayne believes that Anjali would create this other story when, obviously there's him and another person that went through something, with her and have, perhaps the truth about what actually happened. Why she would spin this and keep their names entwined if it was all a lie. I say if with some hesitancy, of course.
Well, here's another interesting part of the story, actually. That mountain has a lot of UFO sightings in and around it. And even I'm trying to track it down. I'm told there's a book from an old UFO book that talks about people who met or had alien experiences at that mountain. So there's some history there of some strange phenomenon around this mountain. Did she know that before, or did she find out later? Does she have that book I can't find yet? I'm trying to. There's a lot to this story, but the one interesting part I thought is there is at least some history. And even Wayne told me, there's strange lights in the sky above the mountain and weird stuff that happens there. My neighbors have seen it. I've seen it. My wife have seen strange things. So, maybe, it's like that old saying, there's some truth in all myths. I think she tried to start a myth here, and there's some nugget or seed of truth in that myth. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, it gets, as you tack on the layers, it doesn't look good for her.
Do you know what I'm saying, though?
Like, why are you even real people? And now we're going to hear from them. My mind is blown by that. I was talking to this guy. I'm like, I opened the conversation with, I thought you were an imaginary friend. I never thought I would actually speak to you. I can't believe you're real. And he said, oh, me and my wife are very real. And yeah, we met her and we had this. It was crazy conversation. So, but I try to not talk to him too much, because I want to leave most of the meat for the actual interview.
Keep it natural.
Keep it natural.
Oh, really? You told me that.
Yeah.
Nothing worse than getting on an interview and asking the same questions you've had in private conversations. I know that sometimes that's the way they go, but, I don't know. It feels cheap on this end, even though the audience would never have any idea.
Yeah, you're right. I try to be... The point of my show is really that I use the show and my microphone and my show as a passport to get to these people. Because if I was just some weirdo, I couldn't just call this guy up and say, I need to talk to you for 2 hours about what really happened. But since I have a show, it gives me a pass to do these things. And I want to take my audience with me like it's fresh and new, and just like, I'm going to have a conversation with this guy and you get to come here and listen to it too. And experience the same thing I am. That's the whole point of my show, is to bring people in with me and get access to these experts and all of these people and these strange characters. I know Ali he's got a big interest. That's one of my big interests. I'm very interested in the phenomenon itself, but I'm equally interested in some of these circus-like characters that are in and out of this thing and that are surrounding it. They're fascinating to me.
Absolutely.
It's all about the people.
Absolutely, well said.
It's all about the people. 100%.
Yeah.
The people that bring this subject to interest, without the people, it's nothing.
We'd be using cows and chickens.
Yeah.
Without the people, it's just a story. And even then, it still might just be a story, but at least we have the horse's mouth in which to speak that story rather than something second-sourced.
I like your style.
Yeah, and that's another part of my show.
That's it.
I really don't like to talk about. I do, because I have to sometimes, but I don't really like to talk about whatever everybody else is talking about. I like to dig in and find a new part of the story that nobody's heard before and have that on my show so that I have something fresh and original. So this story I've been following since the beginning. It's a fascinating story. Why is this military woman that worked for the Defense Intelligence Agency suddenly talking about meeting aliens in an alien base and all this stuff? And at first I thought that the whole story was made up, but then I started looking into her. I'm like, God damn, she really was in the Air Force. God damn, she really did work for the DIA. And I got even more interested now. Like, why? At least her background is real. Because so many times some of these people come out with these fantastical stories, and then you check and their education is fake. Her educational claims are all real. You check and their work history is fake or embellished or not right. No, hers is all real. So it made me more interested. And I've taken a lot of shit over this story because the true believers have been kind to me because they commented that I've been nice to her and respectful, but all the more skeptical people, and that's most of my audience, are like, why aren't you ripping this bitch to shreds? This story's fake. And so, but I've been following the story since the beginning. I'm going to follow it until it dies. I'm just going to keep going with it. And now we're probably going to get a back and forth because Wayne's going to have his say, she's going to have her say, and then everybody's going to get to argue who's telling the truth, who's lying, why are their stories so different if it's the same event, so
because one's lying.
There's still some life left in the story though but I think there's a major plot twist on Saturday once he tells his side, because it doesn't match up. Nothing matches,
So who do you think is lying?
Well, I only briefly talked with this Wayne, but I believe him 100% because he seemed much more genuine. He didn't even want to become public, but he feels like he has to because this woman keeps involving him and his wife in her stories, and he wants to set the record straight and say, this is what really happened, and I don't understand her saying X, Y, or Z, or trying to sell something, or and he has been following her and noticed that her narrative is changing now to a more spiritual, like maybe these experiences are all, spiritual, not physical, when first she said they were physical.
But wait, I'll forget, Michael. You have a better memory than I do.
Go ahead.
What about this Ryan Gordon filmmaker dude? Is this the same Wayne he spoke with?
No, that was the so-called fake Wayne. Okay. And he went and offered the fake Wayne all kinds of money to do a TV deal, and then somebody just commented on Twitter that their favorite part of the story was Ryan Gordon in his underwear mixing cocktails when he didn't know his camera was on my show. And then he got super drunk, remember? And he was like slurring his words and yelling at her and everything. It was crazy. It was the craziest show I've ever done.
Hold up. Are you telling me that Ryan paid $1,000 to the wrong
guy? Apparently to the wrong guy to get an interview.
That's what he says. I don't think he did.
That's what he says, but we've never heard the interview. And it was based on the released information that was not the right Wayne. She admits now that wasn't the right Wayne. She was trying to protect the real Wayne, who, by the way, his name's not really Wayne, but we're going to keep calling him Wayne because
it's Frank, isn't it?
Well, let me ask you this, because that brings up a question here for me. Obviously, without divulging anything you can't, how difficult was it, to locate this person who we understand to be the real Wayne, and how easy was it to actually contact this person?
I can't take all this credit because really all I did was talk a lot with Charlie Weiser. There's two researchers, James A. Conrad and Charlie Weiser. Charlie Weiser is an amazing researcher. She's got a blog, and James Conrad have been very interested in this story, and they're talking to me because they don't really have a mouthpiece like a show like mine. Mm-hmm. And I started by just calling all these construction companies in the area, looking for somebody that owned a mountain. I called a couple hundred, And I was coming up empty, and I was talking about on my show, like, I think this guy's imaginary. This is bullshit. I called every construction company. And then James and Charlie contacted me with this huge 10-page research report on this guy they found. I didn't find him. They did. Okay. But it turned, and that guy's real name was Wayne. And she gave indications like, well, yeah, Wayne's real name is Wayne, but I changed his wife's name to protect their identity so people couldn't find them. And this guy that we found had a wife with a different name, not Trisha. And he owned a mountain. We got the satellite maps. There was a mountain right off the back of his house. Everything matched up. And by the way, Wayne, the real Wayne, found this whole story really funny and compelling. He was like, I have no idea that there's a doppelganger of me that owns a construction company and a mountain right in my neighborhood almost. Like it was funny. So, and so then Anjali kind of makes, oh, you can't release this information. Please, God, don't release his address. And so we didn't. And then she did an interview with me and she said, yeah, you found him. But then later said, no, I lied. That wasn't him. And then James and Charlie Weiser kept going because they had alternate maybe Waynes. And then, see, Anjali keeps leaving these breadcrumbs. Like she said, I had an ambulance came to Wayne's house. And then they went, we can check 911 records for her legal name. And that's how they found her, 911 records. Boom. With her legal name and this other Wayne, the real Wayne's address and all his information. Then what actually happened is Anjali's threatening to sue Charlie Weiser for slander or something, who's been very critical and researching her and releasing all this information and picking apart everything she says. So Wayne and Trisha were pissed off enough at what Anjali put them through that they said, we're going to come forward because she shouldn't be able to sue this researcher. They didn't do anything wrong. And so then they started talking to Charlie Weiser, and then Charlie Weiser put them in contact with me. I contacted him and said, Charlie doesn't have a show. She doesn't do interviews. You please come and do an interview. And I was surprised because I thought I was going to have to twist his arm a little or really ask him many times. He said, let me think about it. I'll do it. Like just that fast. That's what he said. So I was like, absolutely. And, and I'm very, once in a while you get a good hit like that and you go, but I really have to thank Charlie Weiser and James A. Conrad because those two found this guy. And then Anjali confirms on Twitter that's the guy. And he says he's the guy. And the 911 records prove he's the guy.
I love it.
So we have absolute confirmation. This is the right guy she discussed and his wife and their house. And this is his mountain. But,
So Anjali says that's the guy.
She says that's the guy on Twitter. Absolutely.
So she believes this.
Well, she believes that's the guy that she originally describes. Do you
think she believes this story?
I believe that according to this Wayne and Trisha, that she had some really high octane THC infused concentrate oil right at their house, and then she had some kind of experience. That's what I believe. And
that's some good shit.
That's got to be because I've only had CBD oil. I've never had THC concentrate oil, so I don't know.
But it doesn't.
That's what I have. 95%.
Yeah, me too.
And it does make you feel like you're not attached to your own body.
Yep.
It's
it
great.
makes you feel a little disconnected, right?
I forgot I was doing a show one night. I did. I was watching a video with everybody, and I just got lost in it, and I'm waiting, and then I'm like, oh, shit, I'm doing a show.
Well, would it make you say, Steve and the aliens say hi?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, they talk during shows now.
They said hi to me. Yeah, and now she's pushing these really hokey UFO photos that she says somebody sent her on Signals or something, and they are terrible.
Awful.
They look like terrible CGI garbage. And she's in there on the Twitter defending that, oh no, we have to find an image analyst to prove these are real or not. And people are just looking at it going, I don't think so. I've loaded them into an editor and they look like they've been edited with Photoshop to me. They look like a composite of two images. But that I'm not an expert. I have a background in computer science, but I'm not an image analyst, so I don't want to say definitively. But from my eyes, it's two composited images.
I'll say it's fake. It's fake.
Yeah, I think so as well.
AF.
Yeah.
Fake as
FFS.
I don't think there's no think so about it. It's definitely fake.
It's
You
the
know?
word. She
Well, this
says
is-
her beings are beautiful.
It
This
looks
is the
like
level
a-
of evidence
looks like
that
an
she's
app.
going to present. It looks like one of those apps to make fake UFO photos. That's what
Do
it
you
looks like to me.
think, is she getting a bigger following every single day? Have you noticed?
I don't know. I haven't checked her Twitter and everything.
I
lately.
haven't either. Let me
Maybe.
see. 6,500 followers.
Which is not much more than me. So
Not that much, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Slowly.
And I will say that, like, I think that this Wayne appearance and her appearance on another show is not going to be that well received. She was just on Whitley Strieber, and they didn't get very many views. I was surprised how little views they got. So I think maybe it's dropping off for her because people have lost interest because she didn't do what she said she was going to do, which is provide all this evidence and proof.
exactly. That's exactly what it is, man. 100%.
Stephen, can you see your Twitter messages? I don't want you to read it out, but
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
you need to do that.
Ring in when she is live.
Blah, 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 blah.
Okay. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Get him.
That's a good plan.
Cream always rises to the top. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, brother.
That's hard to do.
I just, it's the whole thing at the same time. Why is she going on? What's his name?
Uncle Fester.
The fist.
The fist. The fister.
Right. So why is she going on this guy's show exactly at the same time as Wayne's going? That is definitely.
I think she wants to pull attention away from the interview. That's my opinion, and she wants to drop the number of people. But I think people are going to watch one and they're going to watch the other one after. You know.
Yeah.
So
I honestly think that's not going to get a lot of views. I think everybody's going to be more interested to see what Wayne's doing.
because it's
Yeah.
new information. It's absolutely
Yep.
new information that nobody's heard before. What's she going to do? She's going to go on the Fister show and do some song and dance about why they're lying now. You know,
I mean, I don't know what do you call him? The Fister? What's he
the
called?
Fister.
The Uncle
Fistler.
Fist. The fist.
Fistler.
It's Fistler.
Fudge
Fistler.
packing Fistler.
Right. I don't know him, but if I were him, this is a perfect opportunity to ask some real questions and maybe,
No, he's not going to do that. He's not going to do that. He's there to help her do damage control. That's what this is about. So, but I think that, it's like that saying, three things cannot long be hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth. She's had a nice run telling people fairy tales for months now. It's coming crashing down. He can say whatever. She can say whatever she's going to say. It's kind of hard to refute this couple. I think it's going to be very devastating for her whole narrative.
But people will still follow her like a cult.
And people
Of
will
course.
still believe her and make and I love people are already doing mental gymnastics, sending me Twitter DMs and well, maybe they're lying because the men in black got to them and told them that they'd be killed if they didn't lie about the alien mountain base and maybe the government's already cordoned off the base and just the mental gymnastics that people do because I get it. I wanted to that's a fucking imagine if her story was absolutely true. That would have been some shit right there,
Yep.
right?
what if it is? What if Wayne's covering up his alien base?
Yeah, maybe he doesn't want a circus around his house. I don't know. But he
Hero
did
of the
joke to
tonality.
me. He did joke to me because he happened to see my coverage of this ESETI ranch where they basically charge admission and tell you that you're going to see UFOs. So he was joking that he ought to do something similar, like have sky watches for $100 a night.
Sure.
Put out some drinks.
Oh, yeah. Can't get this guy anywhere in the world except right on that guy's property. I'm just saying, he's got something there.
Yeah.
All he needs is an app to show where the iridium flare satellites will be reflecting back to Earth, and they're powering
Yeah.
up.
Just like ESETI, the mothership.
Yeah.
It's a mothership way high up in the atmosphere.
Sing Kumbaya louder!
Meditate.
Everybo-
Meditate
every-
more.
Everybody, let's start fucking!
I can't lie though.
Not live.
My sexy ranch.
I have a cabin that I built, and it's at the highest elevation in my state, in the Pocono Mountains. And I got to tell you, you see some shit up there just because you're so high up in elevation, but most of the time it's satellites. I have seen some shit and I went, this is crazy. This has got to be aliens or a UFO. Then you get the satellite tracker out and you go, oh,
Yeah.
that's a communication satellite, and here it is right on the tracker, right where it's supposed to be. But since you're so high up in elevation, it's only, you can see the International Space Station with the naked eye.
Yeah.
It just looks like a little
cool.
brighter than a star going across the sky. But the fact that you could see that with the naked eye because you're so high up. So I guess there's something to these mountain stories of UFOs, but I think a lot of it is misidentified, conventional things.
Just like Sedona, same shit.
Yeah.
7,000 feet up, and it's like magic up there.
It's a beautiful cabin, Stephen, I have to say.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Yeah, I'm hoping against hope. I'm gonna finish this bitch this year, but I got a lot to do. I got to build one more bedroom bump out on the back because my kids are getting big, and this cabin, every time I think it's big enough, I got to build another section of it, But I'm gonna put a front porch on it because every cabin needs that nice front porch that
Definitely.
you sit on. That's the first thing I'm doing this spring, and I'm finishing the sunroom, and I might, if I have time before winter, do a small bump out bedroom off the back so my kids could go there, and bunk beds or whatever. But yeah, it's beautiful. I was just there. First time in a while because the snow was so bad I couldn't get through the road.
Sure.
Like my neighbor told me, like, traction control, you ain't getting very far with just traction control, bro. You need a 4-wheeler, you're not getting back there. So I just, I'm gonna take a month off and
Go enjoy yourself and finish your project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the middle of
Yeah,
nature.
man. It's
It's
beautiful.
the best.
So, Stephen, Saturday night at
7 p.m. Eastern time. Right on my channel, it's Truthseekers. Just put Truthseekers in the YouTube search bar and look for the strange guy with sunglasses. I pop right up. Come over and subscribe. I'll be posting the stream later on tonight.
So that'll
And,
be 12 p.m. GMT, yeah?
Yeah, I believe so. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, New
12
York
a.m.,
time.
should I say.
Tomorrow night. Yeah. Or Saturday night, I'm sorry.
Beautiful.
And thanks for letting me come here and maybe I'll get a little bump from coming here. And I know you've been following the story too, so maybe we should do a panel, a secondary stream after the interview. And
definitely.
everybody can come on and that's what I think I'm going to do. So Saturday, my whole night, I'll do the interview at 7 p.m. We'll be done probably by 9 p.m. And then we'll do a panel show and everybody's welcome to just come on and we'll talk about the whole story and what Wayne just revealed and all that stuff.
Kick ass, dude. Kick ass.
It's I feel sorry for the other guy. I don't know him, but I feel sorry for him.
Bottom feeders never win. I've been bringing out new information on this story since it began. Bottom feeders never win, so I'm good. Whatever happened, I was pissed. I gotta tell you, I was pissed when I saw that. I was like, "You mother!"
No, this is even better. This makes it better.
You've got the better interview anyway, so.
Yeah, I think so. Because it's new information. It's all going to be new information we've never heard before. She's going to go over there and do her song and dance and try to explain shit away.
She won't. She'll back out.
And again, just to be clear, I sent her all the proof that this is the show that doxed me, released my legal name, released my street address, and probably was in the live chat making threats and all kinds of stuff. And, she said in her post that she's going to have a nice conversation with Rob and that guy. And Rob is the guy who called me a pedophile with absolutely zero proof on Twitter. He just decided I was a pedophile. And, I got a wife and kids. That's some slimy shit to do. There's no freaking evidence of anything like that. I've been happily with the same woman for 20 plus years. That's some bullshit. So her going to them to do this speaks volumes, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't understand. I don't understand people on YouTube. They just come up. I mean, I've been coping with the same woman for 20 years as well. So,
Yeah, sorry to hear that. Right? Unless you got you got a good wife. I can tell.
Yeah.
Well, with that said,
right.
Richie, you want to go hit the bar, bro? Looks like it's just you and me, man.
I'm already there, Mike.
All right. Good stuff.
I can't wait. I'm just, happy to be alive. And don't worry, tonight we're going to have a nice show in about an hour and 45 minutes. So I was going to have a sit-in guest, but it's not going to happen tonight. We're going to have to do another night. They have some issues that they have to deal with. So It was up in the air. And a couple of people offered their services. You still want to do it, Stephen?
I gotta do my show. I gotta get over this
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
I gotta get it over it.
Yeah.
I'll try to jump on when I'm done, but it'll probably be an
No.
hour.
We'll have to do another. I wanted somebody to sit in and be the host tonight of GUFON for an hour.
You said we were gonna do that sometime. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I was gonna do it as Lou Elizondo, my new character.
I love that guy. All right, we'll talk, and you'll have to.
You'll do
that.
it next week. I got the whole character together. I got the hat. I got everything. It looks great. Looks just like Lou Elizondo. But he's called Lou Elizondo.
I love Lou Elizondo, and I have Doppelganger Wayne mask.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
It doesn't look
maybe
too much like him. Actually, the real Wayne, you can see the poster on my Twitter at Stephen Cambion. The real Wayne looks strangely a lot like Lou Elizondo. Somebody commented.
It is
on that.
strange.
It's funny.
That's weird.
Got the same thing here and everything. The same.
It's from the same mold. Yeah. Same
I'm gonna keep laughing, so people keep sending Ollie super chats. Bitches! I know super chats. I'll stop laughing, bitches.
Your laugh it reminds me of someone. I can't think who it is.
I know.
Most people say I have
Same
a
here.
Joker
Yep.
laugh. Yeah.
Who?
A Joker laugh? Is that what you said?
Oh, the
and I
Joker?
don't know,
Yeah.
It just pops out sometimes like that, and I can't control it. So there it is.
It's hard to emulate. I can't do it. It's hard.
Well, guys, I haven't got the links up for you. Well, Stephen, not guys. You're just one person. Stephen, I haven't got the links up for your channel because I didn't know you were coming on tonight. But I will.
No, that's quite all right. Like I said, you just put in the search bar Truthseekers, one word, and you'll find me. Just look for the guy with the sunglasses. Go over there and subscribe, please. I need a bigger bullhorn so I can bust balls better. I'm trying to bust some balls lately.
And
we need ball busters here. We need some more ball busters. These people are getting away with all this stupid fake shit. I'm sick of it. Sick of it.
Everybody who's watching this right now needs to go and see this on Saturday night. We all need to be there. I'm going to stay up, you know. I'm going to stay
great.
up.
It's 4 a.m. I got to find out what Wayne says.
I'll be in the chat, so everybody come join me in the chat on Stephen's show on Saturday night. And
Thank you for the bump. I appreciate it, brother.
We are going to see about Wayne. I will put you the link in the description as well. Stephen, if you send me the link for it, I'll bang the link in this video.
Yeah, I'll put the link to the actual stream. I'm going to put it up in the next. As soon as I get off of here, I'm going to put up tonight's stream and that stream.
Beautiful. And Rich, you've got a show tonight?
Nope.
No?
Yes, I do. It's 9 p.m. Eastern. It is the GUFON Richie birthday show. It's a joke. You know how there's people.
Is it your birthday?
Huh?
Yeah, something, I don't know. Every year something happens.
I heard about a show host that got caught having birthdays 4 times a year to get more super chats.
No
He
shit.
just kept saying it was his birthday because he realized when it was his birthday, people were sending like all these super chats, so he just kept having birthday parties.
Motherfucker.
Well, the reason my thumbnail is filled with all happy birthday Richies, because it's a joke. I always talk about how 40 to 50-year-old guys let everybody know it's their birthday. I'm like, how old are you that you got to let people know it's your birthday? Yeah, so I just think it's weird. So that's why I did that tonight and over-exaggerated. Usually when I have a birthday show, I don't even say it's a birthday show. So.
Yeah,
it's only when they start taking days off of work because it's their birthday. That's when you start getting concerned.
Yeah.
I want to have the 15th off. Why? What are you doing? It's my birthday. Aren't you like 43?
Yeah. Aren't you retiring?
Yeah, exactly.
It's my birthday, man.
Got to see the grandkids.
Celebrate me. Anyway, that's tonight.
Right, I'm going to bounce out here and get going on some other things. I'll send you the link in the next 20 minutes, Ollie Alien Addict. Thanks
no
for
worries.
hosting
And
me.
my cat's just brought a dead mouse in, apparently. My wife's just come and told me. So.
Dinner. You're getting hungry, aren't you?
You got to go take care of that shit. That's a gift. They're bringing you a gift. That's actually why they do that.
True. Mm-hmm.
Quick one before we go. Dark Hour, you got a show coming up?
I do have some shows coming up this week. I don't have anything that I'm going to announce just yet, but certainly keep your eye out. In addition, I do plan to release another full-length album this time in the vein of underground hip-hop. And this was one that was released back in 2004, and I know that there have been some people asking for content like this, so keep your eyes out on that, and I appreciate
Good for
the
you. Another
overwhelming
musician.
response.
I'm
Oh,
sorry
yeah,
to
brother.
hear that.
No.
You must be real hungry.
Yeah, well, you know, I've eaten.
I'm
you
a
know,
musician too.
I ate
so
last
I'm
week.
allowed to
I'm
bust your
good, bro.
balls.
You know, I heard that, and Steven, I'd like to talk to you a little bit more at length, so I'll email you, and we'll get in touch, my friend.
Absolutely.
I think
absolutely.
we might have some commonalities between us in way of recording and musicianship and touring, from what I
yeah,
understand.
cool.
So, yeah, dude, we'll get in touch with that, and I'll do that very soon.
Konnichiwa.
And Stephen, you missed the start of the show, but have you seen?
Yeah, I'm gonna
E.T.?
watch it.
Have you seen E.T.?
Yeah, and you know what?
Shit.
I just this past weekend I watched 2 movies, and I couldn't believe how much I enjoyed them. I watched Close Encounters, and I watched Whitley Strieber's Communion movie.
Oh, yeah.
With
Oh, hell yeah.
With Christopher Walken, and I was surprised at how much I enjoyed both those 2 old ass movies, but they were fun and alien based, and I love aliens like Ollie, Alien Addict, so they were a great time. I'm gonna watch E.T. because I haven't seen it since I was a kid. I'm gonna watch it again. Maybe this
He's
week.
Jesus.
I actually resolved to do the same exact thing when my kids next weekend. I promised them this past weekend that that's what we were going to watch. I'm like, you guys seen E.T.? They're like, E what? I'm like, yep, we're watching E.T. So I showed them the trailer, and they were both like, wow, this looks awesome. And I forgot how emotional that movie is, dude. I'm going to cry at the end.
It's gonna
I
make
know
you
I
cry
am.
at the
I
end.
am. It's gonna.
I
You're
cried
a little
when I was a
sensitive.
kid.
By the way, I'm watching on Netflix. I just started watching it. It's called Top Secret UFO Projects Declassified, and it's pretty freaking good.
Really?
For those of you who
Yes,
want
dude.
something on net, it came out last year. I never watched it because it had Dolan in it.
Yeah.
But it's got everybody in these. It's a bunch of episodes, but it's pretty good actually. A lot of good info. If anybody wants something to watch on Netflix, there you go.
Just skip over Dolan's part. You know?
It's been an emotional night, boys. We found a TikTok on the Michelangelo TikTok.
TikTok.
A TikTok on the Michelangelo.
You notice how everybody's looking at it? Look at them. Look at it.
Look at that.
Look at the girl on the right. She's looking over God.
I think you're right, Rach. Though. I think you.
Imagine that.
Nobody's ever pointed that one out. I still think it might be chewing gum, but there it is.
Well, just as real as the real one.
If it explodes, you know where you saw it first. Alien Addict. Good night,
blows
God
a
bless
bubble.
people.
Thanks for the birthday wishes, everybody.
You're welcome, mate.
Maybe I'll see you next year.
I'm gonna bounce on
I'll be
out of here.
dead.
Thank you for hosting me. I appreciate it. I will send you the link. I will talk to all of you guys soon, hopefully.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Good night.
Steven. Been a pleasure.
All right.
Good
Good
night.
night. Thank you.
Good night, God bless. Mind the bugs don't bite. Good night.
Good night.